Hello. Hello. How are we doing this fine day? Are we good? Wonderful. I just have one more thing to sort out, which wasn't just my face. Face is fine. Face is working. Boop-de-doop, boop-de-doop. Hello. You missed out on the Genestealer Cult Combat Patrol. No. Well, hopefully the next one is similarly good, but it probably won't be as good. We'll see. Goodness. Oh, Valoran the Lost. 1:30 p.m. and yet you're still sleepy? Well, that is very understandable. Very understandable. Oh, you own 3 armies, McFatson. Oh, you'll cope. You'll manage. Ahahaha, Perkysaurus is so funny. Undead are bad at math unless you count Dracula. Are you just bringing out all of the different puns we have for all of the different vampire things? Oh yes, of course. We are very much hoping we get Celestians back. But we'll have to see how it goes. I've got my poster, which just, if I position my head correctly, just says, one day we'll rise up. Thanks to recommendations, you got Genestealer Cult right in time to get the Combat Patrol. Excellent, excellent. I don't know when it went live, because I've started recording them a bit in advance, but one of the videos I did, there was like 1 Combat Patrol left in one of my affiliate links, if you managed to get there in time. Yeah. Oh, Necromancer, come on. Now you're just looking them up. If I ever croak or go like weirdly quiet for a while, it's 'cause I'm ill. I'm not in the best the moment. Mild infection has got to me, which when I looked online is like afflicting a load of VTubers at the moment. There's so many of them that are normally fine and just, oh yeah, stream cancelled except ill. So unless it's like a digital thing that's only affecting VTubers, but that's odd. What, if anything, do I expect from the live stream? Yeah, well, I'll get onto that. I will definitely get onto that very soon. I do, of course, the vampire cloak thing of putting my arm across my mouth before I cough. Very good advice. Always pretend to be a vampire when you're about to cough. Of course, I'm a vampire, so it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Oh. Yeah, we may also be having a couple more breaks than normal, but we'll see. Oh, a friend of yours is also sick and is a VTuber. Yeah, it must be just going round at the moment. Pretend, exactly. One day makes a good reaction image. Excellent. Yes, the plan for this is it's not so much a live watch along with it on screen, because as far as I understand, you're not allowed to live stream someone else's live stream. And while we're vague on the rules, it's better to go on the side of, yeah, let's not get cancelled. Because we've already had one 40k YouTuber get banned on YouTube, no longer allowed to live stream this week. That was Mordian Glory, who in a previous stream whipped out a gun, and YouTube went, nope, end in stream right there. So he hasn't been able to stream for at least a week. Yeah. Mordian Glory, he does Brood Brothers videos. We'll say he does Brood Brothers videos. Yes, it was an airsoft gun, but still a gun. Are they about to live stream something? Ah, right, they've just set up the chat room on that. Resident Eldar player, hope I'm feeling better soon. Thank you! I do appreciate the Eldar as an Oathway player. Now, they're meant to be going live in another 15 minutes. If you look at the top of my description, and I will shortly be turning off the music in the background. It should be okay at the moment. Is it on? Yes, it is on in the background. Lulu, thank you! Oh, thank you for being me. Thank me for being me. What's my favourite vampire media? Do I like the Vampire Chronicles? I'm trying to think of all the... I liked the Van Helsing film. The really bad one with Hugh Jackman. That was a good and silly one. There was a PlayStation 2 game of Van Helsing. That version of it. Ah, that has some weird memories. It was like a really good game. Not quite associated with the film because I think it was made... or was like so far in production before the film came out. Yeah, you like the Van Helsing movie? It's good. Yes. Oh yeah. Owning an airsoft gun in the UK is like owning a nuke. Yeah, 40k is a gun-free zone. YouTube is a gun-free zone. Yeah. Vampires suck. Was that a film? There was also Lesbian Vampire Killers. That was a strange film. I think it had James Corden in it. Yeah, it was odd. Very odd. Anyway, in the description, you will see two things. Near the top of the description is the link to the Twitch channel of Warhammer. You don't need to have a Twitch account to see it. So I am watching that while also chatting to you, so you can also watch that on a second monitor or on a tiny tab and listen to me talk about it. That is one way to do it. And when they have things pop up as links on the Warhammer community, then I'll be able to share the things they put out on the Warhammer community tab things, because I can show off articles, no problem. Right now they're just like, ooh, do you want to pre-order some re-released Lord of the Rings things? The other thing that you will see in the description is I now have a discounted affiliate link for the United States. Yeehaw! And other American noises, pew pew guns. Wargames portal. So if you use the link there, which is wargameportal.com/ref=vampire, then you can get 10% off your American purchases of Warhammer. Yeah, it's not just for Games Workshop products, it is for all of the stuff that's on their website. And if you want to buy paints and things from them, I very much appreciate it. The commission for non-Games Workshop things is higher than Games Workshop stuff. So if you want to have whatever you want from there for any of the game systems, paints, bases, all of it, I now have an affiliate in the United States. Excellent. The Colonials. The ex-Colonials. We also have other links for the Commonwealth. So Australia and New Zealand has Gap Games. That's 21% off. I don't know why you would go anywhere else if you're in Australia, other than go to gapgames.com.au/vampire. Then you can get your 21% discount. Canada has Fenris Workshop. It's fenrisworkshop.com/Von Carmian. And there you get 10% off. And in the UK, I have Firestorm Games. They usually do 12% off models. So there's all of your discounts for a lot of different countries, and I am working on getting more. It's going to be great. It's gonna be great. Is there a difference in rules for live streams and premieres? Because, don't know. Don't know for certain. But I'm sure other people are also not live streaming things at the moment, but are looking at it. Come on, YouTube. Give me the correct things. Am I going to have to put slow mode on? We have so many people here. Let me just check if the mods can keep up okay. Yeah, mods are doing fine. Mods are doing fine. Mods are doing fine. Oh, demo charge heaven. Oh, well. We'll talk about demo charges in the coming week. See, this last week I did 2 Sisters of Battle videos and then a few rules things. I thought we'll get more Genestealer Cult things. So we'll see how we do that at the start of the week. Depends how much I can manage with the mild cold. Get an affiliate link with Romania to be thematic. I hope I can get somewhere that does deliver to Romania. Yeah. Excellent. Oh, Protruing Greek, you go to the Gap Games. Excellent, excellent. I don't know if going in there in person, you can slide a piece of paper over to them and say, hey, I want to use this affiliate link. But it's appreciated. It's appreciated. Mod send his army to Legends. But you know that I appreciate Legends. I like Legend units. Yeah. I was going to briefly look over the Age of Sigmar models, but other than there's some really cool clan rats, I think the clan rat models are nice. It took me a while to find any kind of duplicates in them. So, well done, Games Workshop. I think, though, that the starter box set is going to be very expensive. Like, £250? Or, to put it in, like, money value so that other people understand, 2.5 times what the combat patrols cost. So whatever your local combat patrol is from Games Workshop in your country, 2.5 of them will be the starting value. Yeah, the Grey Seer looks good as well. Let me have a look at that. Where are we? Yeah, new Rat Ogres. I can kind of appreciate that. The backwards blade on the hand, not as much. Not as much. Big Cannon, Warlock Engineer. Yeah, that's a good Grey Seer. I can appreciate that. I play Eshin, so there's nothing really here for me. We've got our Scryer things, we've got our Molder things. Nothing Plague Monkey, but nothing really Eshin-y either. No, so that's where I'll be showing off things as they come up in the stream, as they're mentioned by Games Workshop. You need more Skaven. No, I mean Rat Boys, chat. Rat Boys. We've got to have some of them. Yeah. So you saw my little trailer, 1-minute video introducing what I think we're going to get. I reckon they will announce a Sisters of Battle flying Canoness. We're going to see this dude behind me, what kind of icon ward he is. My worry is he's going to end up being so very similar to another character. Like, we already have, okay, backlore, further backlore from before 3rd edition. We have just the Magos and the Patriarch. They're the only characters. Then we had, in 7th edition, the Primus. Okay, we have a frontline combat like our officer level, and the Magos is the one in the back. Then we got the Nexus, who is military, but stays at the back. And then, what else do we do from there? We already have our big brain person, it's the Nexus. We already have our Magos person, it's the Magos. They do the psychic stuff. We already have an Icon Ward, the Icon Ward. So if we're not getting a Battle Standard Bearer, which is what I think this is, what is it, a named character? It's a super heavy tank with just a character on top. Yeah. Codex Zotes, Mystery Codex Zotes. You know, maybe we've all been blindsided, and the Mystery Codex is not Emperor's Children. I mean, surely not. It's not going to be Imperial Agents with Grey Knights and Deathwatch, but instead it's Codex Enslavers, where you just take any existing army and add one Enslaver. So you could have, like, Codex weird alien things, who knows? Or, you know, this Genestealer Cult guy, trade union leader, and you then get a trade union council who meet, you know, bi-weekly to to talk about issues in the workplace. Yeah, yeah. But a Genestealer Cult Icon Ward and a Battlesister Canoness model, those should be very easy to kit bash. And if those are the models announced, I already have things planned for how I can show how you make them. I don't know if we'll see the Combat Patrol and the bigger box set announcements. Maybe. Maybe we will. For Space Marine related things, I'm expecting... The next Space Marine Codex should be a Blood Angels one, we think. Because the rumours previous to 10th edition were that the Blood Angels would be in the starter box set. So they have models planned ideally for them. I'm expecting a Primaris, or at least Primaris size, you know, upscaled Corbulo model. I only really first know of him as like the actual Roman military man from history. He went and did things in the East against the Parthians, but he is the one that holds the cup, which is meant to have the blood of Sanguinius in it, very vampire themed. Definitely not just take an Isabella von Carstein model and make him a boy in Space Marine armor. Yeah. So we could see that. Oh, and then we have the little brain bug. The little brain bug thing was mentioned. So I think that's going to be a Necromunda thing. If it was like, oh, it's a Genestealer Cult model and you put it next to people and do things, or it's a token, why isn't it a familiar in that case? We have so many familiars. We've established familiars are pretty cool and normal. So we have them already. Okay, good. Good, we're prepped on that. I don't need to be logged in on Twitch. I do have a Twitch account now, that's just as a backup in case anything goes horribly wrong on YouTube. I don't plan to stream on Twitch. YouTube is much easier for me because I've got all the things set up already. Right, good, good. Everyone has liked the stream. It should be 5 minutes before they go live, which is good. We have my, in the top left, the money funding so I can get the Genestealer Cult Codex, the Battle Sisters Codex, and the Mystery Codex if applicable. So if you want to support me to be able to get those codexes, so I have them to review and go through and point at things and go, ooh, Games Workshop, you've been doing things or not doing things, then you can support that. That Ko-fi link is the one near the top of the description. You just click there, and much like anything else, it's a very simple, here's some money. That's always appreciated. So thank you for that. Thank you for the 22% that we've already got there. And I will be declaring those codexes as tax expenses. Yep, this is my job. And I don't know if I'm saying that with more of like a straight face now, rather than a, oh no, I have to be a vampire on the internet and talk about Warhammer. Oh, that's my life. That is a perfectly normal thing. We might actually need, yeah, some more Space Marine lieutenants. Jump Pack Lieutenant. We don't have a lieutenant in the heavy Mark 10 intercessor armor. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. What else do we don't? We don't have a 10th. Well, we do have a 10th company intercessor because we have the Reaver one. Yeah, we have the Reaver one, and I think there's another one that's like in not scout armor but stealthy armor. Lieutenant in Terminator armor. That's right, because the Dark Angels recently got rid of their what was he called? Deathwing, not champion. He was a person who was basically a lieutenant in Terminator armor. You'd rather watch my reaction than watch it on Twitch. Great, great. At some point, as soon as they actually start, I'll be getting my little screen up, and then I will... What was the thing I was going to say? Yeah, then I'll turn the music off so I can hear the Twitch thing, and I will repeat what they're saying. Oh my. Thank you.
Scritchy just tipped 10 have fun. You really helped me with GSC.
Oh, let me just move that up. That should work now. Right, I will read that again, because I just missed that. Which was a thank you that said, I really helped you with Genestealer Cult. Messages. Have fun. You really helped me with Genestealer Cult. Thank you, Scrazy. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name perfectly, but thank you. And the other one, which came through at the same time. It is your fault I finished my Genestealer Cult Christmas box. Have $3. Thank you, Frozen. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Oh, Andrew. Andrew Middlemax. Thank you. More likely chance. Oh, Sisters Bikers? No, I don't think so. Warsuit Canoness? We'll probably just be stuck with Mo and Val. I can't likely see a character coming in for them. And Land Raider style tank? If we can get it, well, see, the problem is the Space Marines, and they always seem to steal our stuff, and they have done for the last, 5 editions. Then there is already the Land Raider Redeemer? Inferno? The one with the big flamers on the side. The damage 2 flamers. Yeah, Black Templars, Salamanders, Blood Angels have been stealing the Sisters of Battle things for so long. So we would have to take it from them. They get to send to Legends. They go to Legends, and we get it in the Battle Sister army list. Right, maybe I can just move.
New Ko-fi subscription from there.
There we go. I'll put it there, then we can see it. New Ko-fi subscription? You're being very generous today, thank you. Oh, the Proteon Geek, thank you for becoming a member of a beloved neophyte tier. That's greatly appreciated, thank you. That sets us on 34%, I better update that. Sometimes takes a second to update. Running so many tabs at once, this is normal. It'll update. It should be on 34%, but it'll update. It's starting, is it? Oh. Yes, it is starting. Okay, I will mute that music. Dish out the Emperor's Justice. What are we getting? Canoness with Jump Pack! Who could have predicted a Canoness with Jump Pack? Well, there you go. Very first thing, Canoness with Jump Pack. Codex Adeptus Sororitas cards. It looks like the only model we're getting, or at least that's everything so far. Elite Sisterhood arriving with the Codex, and they have a battle force. Oh, we have Stu Black and Josh, the guy who didn't want to show off the stats for MetaWatch. A dude? That is definitely enough, my dude. Thank you so much, my dude. Oh, I can afford codexes now. Absolutely, I can afford codexes. Thank you. So, it's going to be, according to Stu, a great codex. New detachments. What have we got in the detachments? Indexes get 1 detachment in the codex. 4 different detachments. Ah, okay, okay. One is basically going to be our Martyred Lady. Yeah. 3 new ways to play. I hope one of them is armoured, because I've got a video about armoured Battle Sisters. Yeah, so 3 new Battle Sister detachments. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the chat in the Twitch stream is just like, only 4? What do you mean only 4? That's no good. Okay. More Acts of Faith, so that's more of a Sacred Rose thing. Then there's an Angelic Host, which is more Jump Pack units. With more auras. Oh, great. We're bringing auras back. That could not be great. Not be great. Right, so the new Battle Force is going to have a lot of Jump Pack things. And from that, we're going to have a very big focus on... Yeah, right. Okay, okay. I see how it is. Mm-hmm. Is it a generic weapon? Okay, we're going to have a generic Canoness, apparently. Let me put it on stream. It's going to play an advert, though. We'll get to that. I'll put it on stream so you can see it. Right, so we're going to have Seraphim, Zephyrim. Oh, and there's an Exorcist. So we're going to have an Exorcist in the big box. That's good. That's good. I can live with that. Right, yeah, so they're saying that, yeah, we could only take one Saint Celestine because Saint Celestine was the only one that can lead jump pack figures. Now that we have a Canoness in with a jump pack, then we can have more of a focus on that. Okay, the other detachment is going to be the Penitent Host. So that's more of your Bloody Rose style, the combat stuff. Why are we not working? There we go. There we go. There, it's got subtitles. Here you go. So there, you can see it on stream now. You do need another church organ. Yep. Definitely. Are we going to have weapon choices in the box? I think we should for the Canoness. It'll just be... There's going to be... Yeah, there's a massive halberd, so you can have her equipped like a Celestian Sacrosanct kind of looking like... There it is. There it is. They mentioned that, so yeah, there's a big halberd. Yeah, we've seen that kind of background stuff before. Yeah, there's your Preceptories, there's how it is. That's just copied straight from like the 8th edition codex, which is previously copied from like the 2nd edition codex. Right, so we have Repentier and Combat themed detachment. Not an armored detachment, which is kind of sucky. So we have a... Oh, hello, Genestealer Cult next. Genestealer Cult. So we have a character. We have a staff. They've got knees. We know they've got knees. That's some models we've already seen before. Yep, those are the Genestealers, but painted up in Behemoth colours. That's a big brain. Oh, I thought it could have just been a nice cowl, but okay. The Benefictus Codex Genestealer Cult. Actually, new artwork. That's novel. That's novel. Yeah, no audio for the stream. Can I get that? I can get audio for the stream. Can you hear it now? Yeah. Good. I'll have to go over it and see, you know, oh. Not yet. Ah, I know what button I need to click.
Dealt with them as an opponent and they come back.
Now we got it.
It makes for a new challenge, definitely.
Yeah, we really wanted to kind of capture that feeling of like a guerrilla war. You know, so your opponents kind of stumble.
Yeah, now we got audience. Okay, good. Audio's there.
Genestealer cultists have been working on for eons. So really trying to capture that both in terms of the kind of background.
I mean, I'm gonna have to rewatch this and have a double check of all the things we're meant to be getting. But it sounds like it should be okay.
Guerrilla warfare feel.
Yeah, nice. And with the codex, there's a couple of new detachments as well. Can you talk us
Right, let's hear about the new detachments.
Yeah, so there's 5 detachments.
Yeah.
5? See, Genestealer Cult are getting 5 detachments.
Your current index plays, there is, and one of the detachments still fits that theme.
Right, one fits the theme, but it probably will be reworked.
We've also tried to give you a wide variety of units that you can now use in different ways. So be that you really like the bikes and you want to play like an outright.
Good, okay, bikes. Is it going to have vehicles as well? And then there's going to be a combat related one. So that'll be your Twisted Helix style. Alright. Yep, swarming it with hybrids. That is the Pauper Princes, so that's just tide of bodies.
This is the Brood Brothers. So where you're kind of
Ooh.
the cult have kind of infiltrated the local.
We are getting a Brood Brothers detachment. Very nice. I only need to slightly modify the script I'd written already. I was like, oh, this could happen, but we'll have to see how it works. Are we going to get like a keyword or something?
They've kind of gradually taken over the Imperial Guard from the inside, which is super fun.
And a ton of options.
Yeah, and that's from a rules point of view, that's a really cool way of doing it as well, because a lot of the allies normally are a much smaller part of your force, whereas
You reckon Genestealer Cult will be the good Codex and Sis is the bad one? Well, if it is one or the other, I think it's probably was going to be like that anyway.
if you wanted to design an force, maybe he's not quite as loyal to
Well, they're encouraging you to convert miniatures using the upgrade sprue that they have provided,
Also got
and nothing else.
to accompany the battle force.
Right, what does a Benefictus do?
Yeah, the Benefictus. So the Genestealers are quite an interesting kind of thing in the sense that they kind of infiltrate other species, kind of life cycles. And so some of them, the Genestealers look very human and kind of like wander through society and no one really notices.
Yeah, that's not really an infiltrating kind of person.
Mutants and these other kind of things that appear. The Benefictus, I think, would definitely struggle to kind of stay.
Right, the brain has a Tyrannid back on it.
Really fun new character.
Okay, okay.
Actually, like an anti-tank kind of.
So what we're talking is Zoanthrope, a Zoanthrope Genestealer cultist.
guns in the
Yeah, it's just a nice hat.
he just mind blasts them, and
You could just add a nice hat. Give it a hat of any kind. Give it a pith helmet.
difficult player to tackle those big.
So we have an anti-tank.
And then what he also does, so he
Yeah, really big hat. 10-gallon hat.
Unity joins lethal hits, which
The
is
Zona
a
dude.
great way of now you can try and tackle
We have been kind of lacking an anti-tank. See, this is the kind of model that the Battle Sisters needed,
okay, how can I
but just change it up a bit.
the Benefictus is now opening up a brand new option for me.
It's just blasting up tanks with psionic power.
Wonder how to convert that.
And it's one of those things where like the Genestealer stuff's quite mysterious, and these kind of mutants appear in the kind of Genestealer life cycle kind of when they're needed.
Yes.
And so no one's quite sure like how does that work? How do they know that now's the time to kind of deploy that particular type of character? So yeah, really fun new bit of background, fabulous new miniature, great new tool for the game, isn't it?
Yeah. Chapters a bit about the battle force. As well,
Okay.
so tell us a
Yeah,
bit
so he's
more
in
about
that, which
Yes,
is great.
of course, yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad they're showing off the new model, and it's in the Battle Force, and that'll be the first place you get to have the model. So we have a truck, a rock grinder, 10 neophytes, the new Genestealers,
So you get aberrants in there, you get
and the aberrants.
and you get
That would almost look like a really good combat patrol. It's of course got a few too many models.
more highlights like from the codex and the battle
Are we going to get any mention of the combat patrols? I mean, probably not.
the big brain has to be the win for me. I mean, I think the miniature's so cool, and I mean, it's so iconic, really, for me. So
Yeah, and I think like, there's a couple for me.
I don't know if it's iconic. I wouldn't go that far.
The games development team have done a great job of capturing the different ways of playing through the detachments. I really like the Brood Brothers detachment. I think it's really interesting. And I quite like the idea of a whole army that looks like a bit like an Imperial Guard.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay, an army that looks Imperial Guard but isn't.
really pleased. to get
Interesting.
the kind of conversion and hobby kind of tips in the book. That kind of
So are we going to get maybe Genestealer Cult? Well, like in 8th edition, we got
into the studio to chat.
our own Lehman Russes, our own cult sentinels and things in the Codex, but they would be things with the Brood Brothers keyword. Heavy weapon teams as well.
Now I've got a feeling
If they were reducing the amount of units we had to go outside of our Codex for, then it might be easier for them to balance. If they're like, okay, Genestealer Cult are not doing so well and they need the heavy armor, their Lehman Russ, their Cult Russ, would stay with low points, whereas the Imperial Guard, who were able to just throw out loads of them, their Lehman Russes would go up in points despite it being exactly the same profile. So this is a Horus Heresy thing. This is not 40k AdMech. Which is kind of a shame, because they do need some help. It's a freakazoid. You're able to take 1,000 points of Imperial Guard. So that would be that one detachment you can take 1,000 points of Imperial Guard. Okay. Okay. I will say it is kind of more difficult when I'm reading chat, listening to a thing, running a thing at the same time. So some of it I will have to catch up on later.
and will
But, oh yeah, this definitely needs a commissar hat on the big brain person.
to the show.
Yeah, yeah. But, so if we have one psychic mind attack, so we have an anti-tank psyker, or someone who is a mutant, so that's more of an aberrant style. Okay, but it's not the combat detachment. No, the combat detachment is going to be more your metamorphs and your aberrants, and I guess your acolytes But then, when you have it's not really Twisted Helix, because it's not just mutants. Will the Benefictus be beneficial? They sound like, from their name, they should be supporting other characters and units, but they're not. I mean, what you could do is get a Neurothrope and just cut off the worm body and stick a very standard-looking neophyte body on top, underneath, yeah. So they've got a huge brain. A combat psycho, I know, how about that? Not liking what the Brood Brothers implies for Ynnari. Oh, okay. Okay.
Take advantage of the opportunity.
Just hoping they don't ruin the Day of Ascension style play. I mean, looking at that, so we've got 5 detachments. There was the bike focus one, which should also hopefully have vehicles. I have a video more focused on that already. There was a combat one. There was the Ascension Day one. Did they mention any others?
Lots of undercuts and things like that. So
the Horde one. And then what's left?
Designs to you probably wouldn't have made them that way in the first place if you knew you were making them as a plastic kit.
Yes.
But then that gives you.
I think the jump pack Canoness looked quite cool. I think we can, you know, as a model, I can cope with that. I will be kit bashing my own one. But yeah, dress on the Neurolictor. That'd be, yeah, I can work with that. I can work with a dress on that. Hive Cult is your main cult, so worst case scenario we have that. Yeah, even if the detachment is bad, if you have a style of play you like, if you have the models that you want, I don't need this screen in front of me anymore because I'm not watching it on that side, I'm watching it on the other side. Then you have one way to play that suits you, that could be fun, and you can make it work. Rather than being like, oh, okay, I like monsters, but the Crusher Stampede is not very good. You could modify it to make it work well, or you can switch to like the Assimilation Swarm, or do Invasion Fleet, but in that same kind of style. The Twisted Helix and the Brood Brothers potentially? Okay, good, good. Yeah, we're not getting Strength 10 Melters. No, the only thing mentioned for Sisters, which is very much disappointing the Twitch chat over there, 4 detachments only. One themed more around the Sacred Rose and getting lots of Miracle Dice, so not quite as I was hoping, lots of Ministorum units. In fact, we may yet lose the Ministorum units. Then there was a combat focus, well, Repentia focused, a Penitent Host. Now the Penitent Host may be more of the Ecclesiarchy one, which will have the Repentia, the Archoflagellants, then the Penitent Engines. That could work, that could work. Yeah, these look pretty good. I mean, it'll depend on the price. I don't think they'll be getting 40k rules, but they could probably use some because the AdMech could definitely do with some models. Right, so Sacred Rose, Miracle Dice focus, a combat-focused Repentia-style Bloody Rose detachment, the current one, which is Our Martyred Lady, and one other, which is going to be focused around jump packs. I guess that would be Argent Shroud, if it's a fast kind of way to run them. We could have had 6. We really should have had 6. I wouldn't mind it 7. 1 for each of the different major orders, and then all of our supporting Ecclesiarchy units.
So, yeah, that's the main goal.
Well, Quinn, Will, thank you so much for popping in.
Maybe they'll change Metamorphs to be more useful. I'm thinking in the close combat detachment, they should make Metamorphs a battle line unit, which would be very useful for the upcoming cards and rules. Oh, I've got new formations for... Is this Imperialis? From the scale of it, it looks like, yeah, Imperialis. So it's the tank battles of Talon. How long before they unveil the new combat patrols? It may be another week or 2. Now, I've done a video already on my expectations for the Genestealer Cult combat patrol. I reckon I should therefore get going on my expectations for a Sisters of Battle combat patrol. Then we'll see. When do the new detachment for Sisters come out? They will be in the Codex, so we will be waiting, I think, another 2 months? They haven't shown the roadmap. I really needed to see the roadmap for what the Codex is after the current ones. Codex roadmap to summer. We have Codex Genestealer Cult first, then Adeptus Sororitas, then something. So if we're thinking, okay, summer is June, July, August, because it's Northern Hemisphere summer, then Genestealer Cult will be coming out in June, so that's another month away. Sisters of Battle in July, so we'll be waiting 6 weeks at least for a Sisters of Battle Codex. And then we have Mystery Codex, which they still haven't shown off yet.
So instead, the Devastation of Talon focuses on the opening steps of the battle.
Devastation of Talon and like the Talon Wars, very much going to be tank focused. It should be tank focused, because the whole idea is you're not meant to be able to see infantry going around on the horrifying like landscapes that exist that become the mess that is Talon. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so as always with a new...
Having the Exorcist in the starter box for the sisters, though, I'm happy with that. Very happy with that.
So the Devastation of Talon expands on the Warfront campaign system presented in the Great Slaughter.
This would be shortly after the Iron Warriors of Iron the Planet. Yeah, because if it isn't... Well, they could do a bit before that, because if I remember, there was some fighting on Talon before the Iron Warriors did the virus bombing. I mean, I'm not remembering it perfectly, because there was a book, which I haven't read, which I had on my watch list, like, to-be-read book list from 10 years ago, I think. There was some fighting, and then they're like, okay, this is too tough, let's virus bomb everything. The people of Talon went underground, and then they were like, okay, tank battle time. So they were all fighting in tanks on the surface, as the Iron Warriors were trying to get underground. A lot of Imperial Guard people live underground. The Valens, yeah, the Valhallans with the Ice World, they also live underground as well.
As well as the Shadow Sword, the Storm Sword, and the Storm Blade.
Well, I don't think we were seeing new Seraphim.
That allow you to field these different detachments in your existing legions and
I think we're going to be keeping the same Seraphim kit.
Which often gives you the opportunity to change some of the colour schemes, and that's something that you've done. So tell us a bit about that.
So I think it's an exciting time to be a painter.
Okay.
The campaign book comes around, because I think actually, you know, you get an
Oh right, yeah. In the Combat Patrol, I would also like there to be not monopose Seraphim, just generally no monopose models. Although, when we're talking about monopose, we mean like it is the one where you put them together with no weapon options. The regular Sisters of Battle sets, all of the rest of them, are essentially monopose, just not mono build. So you can switch out the hands, but that's about it. Otherwise they all get built in exactly the same way, with the same pieces. You can only really build the sisters with the bits you've got, with the legs that go with the one set of bodies that goes with the one set of backpack, and the rest, and like the one set of arms, but then you can switch out the hands and the head. Yeah, it's not as good. Okay, is this Kill Team?
Over a century ago, something insidious.
Oh no, Necromunda? Must be Necromunda.
The city was razed to the ground, and the ruins.
Yeah. Hive Secundus, that's where the Genestealers live.
Even the Imperium's most diabolical weaponry couldn't destroy the memory of this forbidden city, and whispers spread across the planet. Whispers turned to
Xeno-infested tunnels? Yeah.
infested tunnels and the resting place of
Ooh, are these weird new Genestealers? I can go for weird new Genestealers.
now tech hunters like yourselves.
Okay.
In search of these
Necromunda Genestealer Cult proxies. Yeah.
archaeo treasures and even data crystals containing the collected knowledge of Necromunda await you. But be warned, the cult of the Second Sun stands
The Cult of the Second Sun. Very cool. I'm sure it'll be vaguely mentioned in the lore of the upcoming Genestealer Cult Codex.
squalor of Necromunda.
Okay. Xeno Vibrant. Yeah, rather than Xeno Infested.
Hive Secundus is on the way. I'm joined by Alex and Rob.
We could have had that as a new unit. Yeah, just here's our own slightly gangly Genestealers, or I don't know, an attempt to crossbreed Genestealers and Aberrants. Well, maybe we just got to keep the bloodline pure, because that is a whole thing with them. They're pure strains, so we probably wouldn't see more weird things where you actually cross in the Genestealer Cult themselves, the Genestealers, the pure strain Genestealers themselves.
He was messing around with the genetics of the Genestealers, trying to find a way to reverse anything that they did, and
Come on.
basically protect all Imperial worlds from the Tyranids.
There we go.
Predictably, it all went a bit wrong.
As it does, it's 40k.
Exactly. As it
All right, so people have been messing with the Genestealer's DNA.
himself, I gradually took him over, and he unleashed the Genestealer curse upon Necromunda.
Oh, good.
Second son
We're getting a bit more background for the Genestealers in Hive Secundus.
would have been secret. And
Good,
so
good.
rebellion
Yeah, the sister reveal was 24 minutes ago. So it is here on the live stream, mentioned just further back. So yes, you have missed the sister's reveal, which was 4 detachments only, and a jump pack Canoness. But that's it. Oh yeah, the Genestealer Cult have had rules in Necromunda for a while. For the earlier version of Necromunda before its revamp, there were like White Dwarf rules to run a Genestealer Cult gang. And it's like 6 years ago, I was playing Necromunda as a Genestealer Cult gang. It is a pretty good way to just have, oh, I've got neophytes. I can also throw them into my Necromunda games and go with it that way. With acolytes and things.
Patriarch did not die, but he
Ancient pure strains, nice.
leading to corrupted and malformed force, which is the strain Genestealer. Now, spiders go in there.
A Malstrain Genestealer. Ah, I think you're messing with the lore of Genestealers a bit much.
All those in that awesome video there. So chat to us a little bit about what makes these so different from the pure strains that were.
So this must be set concurrently or after the current civil war happening on Necromunda?
Through the generations as well. They're still terrifying opponents.
Yeah, my neck just moved a bit.
The same level of power, the same level of strength as a pure
Oh.
Genestealer.
Okay, and in terms of
Yes, this is in Genestealer Cult back to back. I know. And I very much want to thank the dude for giving me enough money to afford the codexes. Thank you for that. Oh, just a dude. Just a dude passing by.
Evolution got horribly wrong.
right,
So one of the aspects, okay, we needed to make them really more twisted, more feral. One of the main elements in the Tyranid, and especially the Genestealers, when you look at, there's a certain symmetry in them.
Yeah.
So one of the first things that we
Okay.
did, obviously, is break all of that. We broke
Right, we're going to break the symmetry of the Genestealers.
models as all of them.
I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like the idea of we're messing with pure strains. Sounds like actual heresy.
They are all twisted. All of them are slightly different.
Yeah, this could have just been a new Genestealer Cult unit. Why not? Weird bug things.
Them to really stand them aside from the pure strains. Yeah, this is how the original form looks like. This is how that mutated and twisted form looks like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the strain in the law, yeah.
because
Civil War in Necromunda. So, Lord Helmwar, who was always the planetary governor, has been killed. His daughter is now assuming control, or one of his daughters. And there is also another lady who is leading a resistance, or it's the other way around. I've only vaguely kept up with Necromunda lore, other than there is some kind of civil war happening, and for some reason that means going out into the desert and messing with the Ash Nomad people who just want to live their lives. Yeah. Well, yeah, we can just use these models for 40k. I don't see why not.
They are all the signs of the Imperial House, so they are all part of House.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Yourself worthy of taking on a position of authority
Oh,
within this.
I'm gonna take a quick look at that.
By going down into the depths of
If we switch to...
in order to slay Genestealers and build your kill count and show how powerful and great a combatant you yourself are against the toughest foes on Necromunda.
Alright, the new Battle Sisters Canoness comes with 4 weapons. You can have a hand flamer, you can have a bolt pistol, you can have a power maul, a power sword, or a massive eviscerator, or the massive halberd.
Whereas the Spirers
Interesting.
draw out the Malstrain Genestealers so they can actually attack them and kill them.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to watch the rest of this preview, because that's the, the interesting bit. We're still on the interesting bit, and then I'll be switching more to the Sisters of Battle.
Invading your home, come attack them. So I can
Yeah, so the new combat patrol for the Sisters of Battle gives you 5 Celestian Sacrosants, 10 Arco-Flagellants, good, 10 Battle Sisters, and a Canoness. It is not the Monopose Canoness, it is not the Monopose Battle Sisters. Ooh, I can get behind that.
You guys go about sort of reimagining that kind of classic kit.
one of the
Yeah.
main thing about those suits that we have in the law, and that they are retrieved off-world by Helmor, like repurposed to
Okay.
be used for the nobles. And so in terms of their design, the first thing that we looked at is like to make them deliberately strange and not totally human.
Where we go.
The thing that the noble have to do to be able to wear the suit is they have to go through heavy body modification to be able to go through those suits.
There's the new Sisters of Battle Combat Patrol.
Their lower leg amputated, they have like their spine reinforced, bones are stretched, so they can fit into those armor.
Have the vampire equivalent of coffee on me. Oh, thank you, Darcy. Thank you. Yeah, so it's not the monopose arcoflagellants. This is the actual box, the multi-part 10 arcoflagellant models. Yeah, it sounds a lot like the boarding patrol. I was okay with the boarding patrol. I may have mentioned, yes, in my Start Collecting Sisters of Battle video, I said the boarding patrol is better than the combat patrol. So I'll have to look a bit more into the comparisons of it, but there we go. So Sisters of Battle Combat Patrol, I don't need to do predictions. I can just go with this is what we've got, this is whether it's good or not.
Something twisted and feral on the other one. So two expression of the same pattern.
Yeah. Yeah, it's literally the boarding patrol with Repentius what for arcoflagellants. You are correct. Yep, that is what it is.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No worries at all.
Okay.
Well, that is all we've got.
So only 320 points. Arcoflagellants are 160, 263. Yeah, no, it's a bit more than 320.
We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we have. Remember to head to the Warhammer.
Is that everything from them?
To find out more about any of the upcoming releases.
Maybe I should be on screen for a bit.
To keep up to date with all the latest news. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on the Warhammer Preview Show.
Okay. If that's it from them, I will switch over to the Sisters of Battle revealed stuff. Changing one thing shouldn't be this hard. There we go. So the new flying Canoness. Modify that in. I know you're still there, chat. I know you're there. Right, so the command for the battle force and big box is a good value only because the price individual volume of the only because the price of the individual boxes is not great, especially after a 3 to 5% price increase on average. And I think Games Workshop has done quite a stretch of the word on average, because it's more like the modal average. You remember being at school and being like, oh yeah, there's different kinds of averages. This is the most often appearing kind of average. And if you're grouping them as well, because the 8 and 14% in Scandinavia, and also the old world models are going up by about 8% as well. These old world models being the ones sculpted 25 years ago, that they should have already made their money back on them just from the sales from, 1999 through to 2015. Now if they're marking them up again, I don't know whether it's suggesting, oh, they're trying to pump Old World for as much money as they can before they drop it, or if they're like, okay, we could see how far we can push Old World players because it's evidently selling very well. Genestealer Cult's up too? Good. Okay, eyes on this first. I will be doing both of them. We can talk about it as a community, no sneak peeks. But we'll look through the Battle Sister stuff, and then we'll look through the Genestealer Cult stuff. So we have our Canoness. Very nice. I think as a model, yeah, when you're kit bashing it, it won't be exactly the same as when it is just this. But I think we can get something very similar. Okay. I mean, that looks good. And you can have a Canoness with a hand flamer now, so that's taking just a regular Seraphim model, yeah, we can maybe have the stand, maybe not, but that's just a Seraphim with a single hand flamer and a power sword. That is so easy to do as a kit bash. And it's going to look different to all of your other Seraphim because your Seraphim Superior will have a plasma pistol or bolt pistol. There is no hand flamer option. And the regular Seraphim with 2 hand flamers, it's obviously not a power sword. Or you just give them the Eviscerator from either a Repentia, or in the Sisters Novitiate box, there is also one Eviscerator. You can use that. Going to show off the halberd. Not there. Not halberd there. Got another head, which is just a regular Seraphim head with a gas mask. Got a maul, which looks a lot more like the Genestealer Cult maul. If you look at the Genestealer Cult Neophyte kit, that's where we have a very similar looking maul. So if you wanted that exact maul, you can find it if you play Genestealer Cult and Sisters of Battle. And if you do have that, in the Neophyte box, the power pick and the power maul are now just called power weapons, so it doesn't matter which one you choose. So you can sell your Neophyte power maul on eBay as a Sisters of Battle Canoness with jump pack with maul. Yeah, big beat stick. So the Army of Faith, which is the only box? Yeah, okay, that's the only box they're showing off, which is understandable, sort of, because with the Chaos Space Marines, they had 2 new characters. This has 1 new character, and we know that there's going to be a detachment focused on the flying units. Good. Good. That matches a video expectation I have, so I have part of a script ready for that already. The combat patrol's 370 points versus the old 465 points. Okay. That's worth noting down. New Sisters Combat Patrol. Not as good. Then again, yeah, no, they should be doing better. They really should. But, alas. So yeah, you get 15 Seraphim / Zephyrim. It is exactly the same kit. Those are the same models that have been around for 4 years now. Although whether or not you could get them with the plague going on, it's less certain. You do get an Exorcist, so I've got to give them props for the Exorcist. We don't know how much it's going to cost, but if we can look at the comparable cost of, like, the Chaos, their battle forces. I mean, it doesn't feel like battle force is the correct word. Because a battle force, I remember, was £50, and you got 5 Terminators, 3 bikes, a land speeder, and 10 Space Marines. And there were various variations on that. It was, like, really good stuff. These are way more than that, like 3 times that. Yeah. Can the Benefictus go with the Primus? We don't know. I mean, if they're like the Icon Ward, then no. Because the Icon Ward was a separate thing where you can't pair them up with the Primus or the Magos. They're like the elite units. No, they're like the HQ units, and the other characters, like the Nexus, were the elite characters. So you could double up on them. They may just end up being a lone operative, but I can't see that quite working. More like they're a heavy weapon upgrade. So really, what you could do for the Benefictus is just have a single dude on a 40mm base with a mining laser. It matches the stats of the kind of character. Yeah, the Exorcist is overpriced. Oh, absolutely. But it is like a really good model. Well, quite good model. It's better than the metal one, which was kind of a pain to build. So is that the entirety of the... Yeah, that's the entirety of that preview show. Okay. Okay. Codex, which has exactly the same artwork from... That is the 8th edition artwork? Yeah, that's the 8th edition artwork. So it's nothing new. It is better than the 9th edition artwork, which was a Celestian Sacrosanct moving forward with a shield and partly falling over. This one is better. And then we have the new Combat Patrol, which is a versatile and strong infantry force with mobile firepower. They would be more mobile if they had a Rhino. And heavy close combat punch, thanks to 5 Celestian Sacrosancts. Oh, that is not a heavy close combat punch. That is a close combat tickle. These are not mauls, these are feather dusters. And the 10 Frenzied Arcoflagellants. Yeah, okay, that is more of a combat punch. The Canoness leads the force, gets stuck into the melee by joining the Celestian. Oh, okay. The Celestian Sacrosancts. Oh, you got me excited for a second then, Games Workshop. With the text where it's like, oh yeah, they can join Celestians. With the renaming, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Or it can stand back with the gun line of 10 sisters. Okay. It's probably a fine group. Power Mauls might get buffed. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that wording was malicious. So there's no vehicles in this combat patrol. I'm going to look up my expectations for it. So I now know what I'm doing next week. I've got videos for these to do. In progress videos. Combat patrol, where are you? New Sisters Combat Patrol. Well, at least it's not mono-pose, mono-build models anymore. That's something. That's something. We should have had, just going off what I was hoping for. Yeah, things have got more elite generally. So the Space Wing Combat Patrol had Infernus Marines and Terminators, but then Dark Angels Combat Patrol was like Intercessors. Then the slightly different Intercessor model of Plasma Incinerators. So I wanted to see a Sister Novitiate box with a Palatine, multi-part Seraphim, who can also be made into Zephyrim, which we haven't got here. The 10 multi-part Sisters that can also make Dominions. That's good, that's good. I wanted a Palatine, not a Canoness, but at least it is the multi-part Canoness, which you can just say is a Palatine, because you get a big sword that can go with it, and any kind of pistol you want, so you'd have a bolt pistol or plasma pistol, that can work. With this release, should we expect that 3 strong squads of Arcoflagellants will be going away? I very much expect so, yes. I believe they were only doing the 3 Arcoflagellants because they were sold as a box, well, in a box, as the 3 Arcoflagellant models. Soon it's going to be, yeah, they're sold in boxes of 10, so you have to field them in squads of 10. Okay, my worst case scenario for the combat patrol I have written down is monopose Canoness. Okay. Monopose Battle Sisters. Well, at least we have got multi-part ones. Seraphim, but with no special weapons. And we get rid of the Pentant Engine and the Rhino. So we've gotten pretty similar to that, but we've swapped out the Repentia for the Celestian Sacrosancts. Okay. And yeah, expect a Canoness with jump pack. I've written that literally everywhere. We got a Canoness with a jump pack. Will the Assassins and Crusaders go away? That bit I'm less sure about. They may just be continued to be sold. Or they could be sent to Legends. That looks like there's no going to be any new models for them. There's no, let's revamp how the sisters do their auxiliary units. We're not going to get anything like that. So probably they'll just stay as they are in metal, sold specially by Games Workshop for loads of money. Yeah, the 3 Martyr Arcoflagellant squad, like the... Trying to think of anything else. Nope, it's gone. I had a thought, it's gone. Yeah. Right, let's get the Genestealer Cult. The Benefictus, which is a dude with a big head. It's this one. I want to change that to that. There we are. The Benefictus. So as a model, I would say that's on a 40mm base. That looks like a 40mm base. I may be slightly wrong. But it's a guy with a staff, and they've got 2 arms and a tail. So the bottom half of them is basically the Genestealer Cult locus. They look kind of tall, but they might not actually be tall. That could be deceptive. The unit of 3 go to Legends? No, I think the unit of 3 Arcoflagellants would just be done. Just, you can't do it anymore. It won't be an option. Minimum squad size, or at least the points for a squad size of 10, which means that if you take anything less than 10, you still pay for 10. That'll be it. 32mm. Very useful. Yeah, it's a baby zoanthrope. It's a Genestealer cultist version of a zoanthrope. Yes, this is a guy who goes to the library a lot. Yeah, it'll just be a unit of 10 for Arcoflagellants. And then you'll be expected to either sell your 3 Arcoflagellants or buy a new set of them somehow. Yeah, put a big head on your Magus, which you may have multiple of from the Genestealer Cult Combat Patrol if you bought multiple Genestealer Cult Combat Patrols, which you can get through my affiliate links, which now includes a United States affiliate link, the wargamesportal.com/ref=vampire. Then you can get 10% off your Genestealer Cult products. I get a little bit of money in support. Yeah, we expect a las cannon attack, you'll get a melter gun attack. Yeah, well, so it'll be strength 9. I'm hoping for strength 12, but then what are they going to do with our demolition charges? If it is strength 12, why would you take it if the demolition charges are still around and are strength 12?
Salt_of_Mars just tipped 99.
That's a lot of money, Salt of Mars. Thank you. But wow. If you accidentally made a mistake and you put the number in the wrong place and meant to do like £9.90, let me know and I can refund it for you. But thank you very much. That is a whoa amount of money. Aw, look at you all helping me out and giving me money for food and codexes. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're having a good time. Aww. Make me go all soft. Right. Genestealer Cult. Artwork. We have actual new artwork. We're not just taking the 8th edition codex art or the 9th edition codex art. We have a slightly blurry man in the bottom right. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, that looks like it's part of another picture that they've added on. But focusing on the Primus, I can get behind that. We could have done with a new Primus model, but that one very much likes the monopose model. What if the brain rips off Hammerhead Railgun? Well, that'd be funny, because we already have Aberrants whose big hammers hit harder than the Custodes, and they are meant to be like the super armored, you know, elite, more than Space Marine, better than humanity level of power. Yeah. So it would track, it would track. Okay, the Biosantic Brood Surge. So this is our battle force, so you get the Rock Grinder, you get the truck, you get 5 Aberrants, it looks like 10 Neophytes, 3, 6, yeah, 10 Neophytes, and a set of 10 Genestealers. So if this was the Combat Patrol, I'd be very happy because I wanted... Oh, let me find that. Genestealer Cult Combat Patrol. Nope. Must be here. I've done so many videos by this point, I can't remember all of them. Combat Patrol, Genestealer Cult. Where's the words? There's the words. Okay, best case scenario. Is that what I said I wanted? I think my ideal definitely had Genestealers in it. You know what's easier? Me just looking at my own video, because that has timestamps. Then I can see what I said. Genestealer Cult. Combat Patrol. Is it going to be the first result? It is the second result on YouTube. That's good to know. So, my hopes were led by a Nexus. Good. Yeah, with 10 Genestealers, a Cult Truck, 10 Neophytes, and 5 Acolytes. So, what we got here in the Battle Force, that was close to what I wanted to have for the Combat Patrol. If you just remove one of the trucks, there we go, that's the Combat Patrol. Problem is, this Battle Force is going to cost, I think, at least twice as much. Ooh. Hello, Alekman. Thank you for the $5 US. I said I like Skaven. I do like Skaven. I play Skaven. Love thoughts on the Skaven we got on Thursday. I will absolutely do that. I have it queued up. I was meant to do it more before the announcement started. I was just so very much enjoying chatting to you all, I forgot to do that. So I will be talking about the Skaven models that have been announced. Generally, very pretty. Generally, very expensive, which is the same thing I'm feeling with the Genestealer Cult now. Yeah, thank you for supporting the channel so much, Alekman. I've seen you around. It's always great to get your comments. Yeah, so that would have come to 495 points. So it's good. It's good. But it's a battle force. Right, I was going to look up, unless someone can do it faster.
Mars just tipped 3. No, it was about €3 short.
Oh, it was about €3 short. Oh, thank you, Salt of Mars. Oh. It's very good of you. That's very good of you. You're far too kind. Yeah, if the Skaven came out last year, we're getting an Age of Sigmar. See, I have been less and less interested in Age of Sigmar and more interested in just going back and playing the Old World, because Warhammer the Old World has become a lot more fun. 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy was not very fun, especially if you played a skirmishing army. Battle gunline units, having tanks, steam tanks, cannons that can spin around and fire and have maneuverability and line of sight that skirmishers and characters just did not. It was very annoying. But that was the past, so I'm enjoying Warhammer Fantasy, the Old World. Them ones. Why can I not get to the... Right, here we are. £140 for the Battle Force. So, it costs 1.5 times what a Combat Patrol is in your local area to get this Battle Force. So if the Combat Patrol is currently £95, it's going to go up to £100. And the Battle Force is £140, going up by 5%. Yeah, okay. It's more than that. It's more than one. It's like 1.75 times the one. Yes, there is a new Combat Patrol for the Genestealer Cult. I just need to manage my tabs. There it is. There is the new Genestealer Cult. Okay. This is my first time seeing it. For fans of small-scale games, a new Combat Patrol leads into the fast-moving elements of the Genestealer Cult, with motorized mayhem amongst the Xeno hybrids. The Claws of Ascension comes with 5 Atlan Jackals, one of them's on the Wolf Quad, 2 units of hybrid metamorphs. So they're specifying it's metamorphs this time, not acolytes, although it is still the same multi-part kit. You can build acolytes out of these models. They're just looking incredibly similar, and from the picture there, they've used exactly the same models in their art, which suggests they want you to build them in the same way. So you'll be getting... Can I make this bigger? Because I can see then the hand flamers. Yeah, so you got 3 with hand flamers, then the leader, the cult leader of the squad, which is like the squad sergeant, and then one with a banner, who cannot have a hand flamer. I don't think they can have hand flamers. But I think the leader can. let's go have a look. Genestealer Cult. Acolytes. No, Metamorphs. Although the Metamorphs, do they even have a leader? The Metamorphs don't have a leader. No, only the Acolytes have a leader. That's an interesting one. Because it looks like they've done a very boring thing of saying, hey, you need to have 2 squads, but you have to build them in exactly the same way. That doesn't seem so great if you're thinking, it's a combat patrol, you want a bit of diversity. You're not getting that here. I mean, even the Cadian platoon that was their combat patrol, you had to build one of them with, I think it was the melter gun and the grenade launcher, and the other one had the flamer and sniper rifle? Plasma gun. Yeah. So any number of Metamorph models can have their auto pistol switch with a hand flamer. But one Metamorph's auto pistol can be swapped with the cult icon. So there should be 4 hand flamers in there, unless they're saying that the one that has 4 arms for no particular reason has to have a pistol? Yeah, with the 5-man acolytes, you got 2 demolition charges, 2 flamers, one of them would be the unit champion, and then a guy with the flag and melee, which is a shame because in 8th edition they specified that you still had the pistol, so I built mine with a pistol. Not that it matters, it doesn't matter too much. This doesn't look as good as a combat patrol. We do have the Ridge Runner though, which is nice. Okay, I can cope with a Ridge Runner. That wants to be there. That doesn't want to be there. There's no good way to have all of us on screen at once. You and me and the image I'm showing off. But we're managing. We're managing. Okay. Oh, live reactions. Very difficult. Yeah, 4 detachments only for the Sisters of Battle. It's kind of painful. Kind of painful. Oh, thanks to you, I'm starting the Genestealer Cult army. You're building the old combat patrol. I'm glad you're enjoying the old combat patrol. Without my videos, the options for the Genestealer Cult army are overwhelming for a newbie. I'm glad I was able to help so much. There are other people who do, well, occasionally do Genestealer Cult content. I know a lot of people, when I started doing Genestealer Cult content, recommended Zara Khan. And, you know, very good videos. However, they haven't been making any more videos anytime recently, which is a shame because they were quite good. But yes, so shout out to them, but there hasn't been anything recently. So yep, you're stuck with me for Genestealer Cult content. You're holding off on building more of the Genestealer Cult models right now because you don't know how much the weapon option will change in squads. Yeah, that is very much a thing you need to be aware of. Now, did I have that written down as a thing? Ah, yeah, that's something I'll have to be talking about. This very much does change my plans for the coming week and all the videos I was going to do. But never mind, never mind. It's nice that we've got more things announced and revealed now rather than later. Yeah. So no Valorous Heart detachment from the look of it. It looks like we're getting our Martyred Lady, which is a continuation of the one we already had. A Sacred Rose, which is the detachment that focuses on having a lot of miracle dice, which should also ideally have some ecclesiarchy things. However, it looks like the ecclesiarchy are being put in with the Penitent Host, which is more of a Bloody Rose style.
Priest Wolfwood just tipped 5 thanks for all the advice.
You are very welcome, Priest Wolfwood. Very welcome. And I'll be continuing to do a lot more advice in the future. And now I have so many videos to make. Is this combat patrol good? Is it worth getting? Well, probably. It was only this morning, like 12 hours ago, that someone was asking me, should I wait and see what happens for the new Genestealer Cult Combat Patrol and hopefully there's a Ridge Runner in it, or should I buy a Ridge Runner now? I said, look in the description of my video, there are affiliate links, including one for the United States now, where you can get discounts on your Games Workshop products and anything else you want to buy there. Yeah. What else was Sisters? Oh yes, the 4th Sisters detachment will be Argent Shroud, sort of, which is all about getting in there. It's do the killing rather than waiting around. So then, yeah, it kind of is Seraphim focused. Dragon of Dragons, thank you. We'll probably see the Redacted Codex in the rules patch in June or July. That would make sense, yes. The next rules update, which will also have a rework of the Adeptus Mechanicus, not the Custodes. The Custodes are not getting a rework. That's going to be end of June. That is when it's expected. In like the last week of June. Yeah. That's when it should be happening. That's like what all sources point to when it's happening. I slightly touched that and it doesn't look right anymore. There we go. Nope. Why do these boxes overlap? There we go. There we go. It's fine. It's fine. Votan. Oh yeah, they definitely need more models. Especially if you've seen my most recent video where they've been looking at some rules where like, hey, you know, what if we had some kind of victory point tax if you took more than one of the same unit that isn't a battle line unit? And the general consensus from the comments, thank you very much for all the comments on that, was, ooh, please don't. Maybe what they could do instead to make it a bit more positive would be, hey, what if we had you get 10 victory points as a bonus if, say, you didn't have any duplicates. So it's a very common thing that people have duplicates. You get 10 points, much in the same way as the Painted Army. Although I did recently play a game where someone was like, okay, we're doing tournament style. We're following all the rules for tournaments and stuff. This is happening. Like, sure, why not? And then he had the gall to give himself 10 victory points for a Painted Army, and it was all grey plastic. How very dare he? I mean, he won by 15 points, so it didn't matter that much. But never mind, never mind. And I was playing Chaos then, so it's not Battle Sisters or Genestealer Cult. It doesn't count. Doesn't count. Yeah. Let's duplicates be punished by lack of flexibility. Yeah, it's not great. I mean, rewards for taking the battle line is good. So the Pariah Nexus cards, again, video came out last week that we've had, that will very much be a focus. Battle line focus, get more victory points if you have battle line units and they complete the actions. We don't know if the Green Tide will auto-win everything because we haven't had points. Well, oh no, we have had points for the Orcs. Because they came out after... let's have a look. Ooh. Viceroy Caleb. After watching your Deathwatch videos, it inspired me to try and make a small force. Should I start with a combat patrol or something like a Watchmaster and some veterans? I have a video called Where to Start with Deathwatch, and I recommend, while you could get the Battle Force, it is a very good place to start. Definitely buy a box of Deathwatch veterans because that gives you all of the different options. Like, so many weapons. There's something like 14 models worth of weapons on a kit designed for 5 people. So definitely get those. Watchmaster is optional. You could just build a captain with a combi bolter and a sword. Stats-wise, it's going to be the same as a Watchmaster. So you could just use them much the same. Yeah. We'll probably see the Redacted Codex in the rules patch in June or July. I feel that message has already come through. Oh, you sent it twice. Thank you, Dragon of Dragons. Dragon of Dragons, yes. We'll probably see it there. It will definitely get mentioned about that time. Thank you again for the money. Thank you. If Games Workshop wants us to go for Battle Line, they might as well go back to the 1HQ 2 troops way of doing it. Yes. If you've been playing since 3rd edition, then the way there was a organizational chart, again, if you watch my video on it, it has an explanation of what a force organization chart was. Everything was divided into different groupings. So a tank was generally heavy support. A unit like the Seraphim would be fast attack. Aberrants, Terminators, they were elite units. Then troops are what is currently your battle line units. So you had to take 1 HQ, which would be some of the characters. Like a Nexus was an elite character. A Primus, a Magos, they were HQ characters. Your army had to include 1 HQ and 2 troops. Then you could have up to 3 of any of the other kinds. So it wasn't like, oh, you can take 3 Seraphim and also then 3 Zephyrim. You could do a mix of them up to a maximum of 3. So 2 Seraphim squads, 1 Zephyrim squad. Yeah, so not every character was a HQ. If you think of the Genestealer Cult index rules at the moment, any character that it says this unit can join, this character can join a unit if it's also led by a Primus, Icon Ward, or a Magos, those 3 were the HQ units. Then the Nexus, the Locus, the Sanctus, they were elite characters. Yeah, 1 HQ, 1 troop, that was 6th edition? 7th edition? I mean, 7th edition got the weird formations. That was another way to do it, which was fine. If you were doing allies, so it was like, okay, yeah, you can be an Eldar player, not necessarily Yunari, because Yunari didn't exist at the time, and you could bring in Dark Eldar and mix them with Eldar, as long as you included 1 HQ and 1 troops choice, then you could have whatever you want. So if it's like, okay, suddenly Dark Lancers on Raiders are amazing, put them in your Eldar army. You can't put them into your Eldari army unless you also take a Archon or Succubus and a unit of like Cabalite warriors. Yeah, oh yeah, different force organization charts for attacker and defender. They were mission specific as well. So if there was like a bunker siege thing, the attacker would have to have a HQ, a heavy support, and maybe a troops unit. Or maybe an elite unit, yeah. So HQ, an elite unit, and a heavy support to suggest that this is an army that is designed for attacking enemy fortifications. That would be the minimum. And then the defender would have to have 1 HQ and 2 troops. Something like that. So it's like, okay, you have generic guys garrisoning this fort. Yeah. 4th edition rules, very good. Yeah, whereas if you go back to 2nd edition, that was like Warhammer Fantasy. So if you play Warhammer Fantasy Battles now, see everything's in percentages. Warhammer 2nd edition was exactly the same. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh. Yes, Warhammer 40k 2nd edition had percentages. Up to 50% of your army could be characters. This was very much Hero Hammer. I remember when a Preacher, the same Preacher model as we have now, fought a Chaos Dreadnought, and the Preacher won, and it was pretty much no contest. They had melter bombs, so of course the vehicle immediately blew up. Yeah, the heroes were the idea then, and you had to include at least 25% of your army as regular troops. So that would be Sisters of Battle units. Just regular models. Yeah, but back when Genestealer Cult was pretty much just a blurb in the Tyranid Codex. Yeah. Yeah, so 1 slot is 3 squads. Ooh. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Very nice of you. Yes. I am enjoying the freedom that 10th edition has had. I wonder what they'll do with like the different ways to do it. Do you think they'll get rid of the 5 Repentia and 3 Arco units? We may have 5 Repentia stick around. I'm very much hoping they do because I have 5 Repentia and only 5 Repentia, with no plans to build more. Yeah, so that's a bit of a weird thing. I think they will get rid of the 3 Arco Flagellants though, because they're not going to sell them anymore. I understand why you would then think, yeah, that means Repentia as well. So maybe they'll get rid of both. I just hope they don't, because that would suck. And it really keep kicking into my Sisters of Battle. So I'm probably fixing with the idea that, yeah, the Genestealer Cult are the better option of the good and bad codex. Sisters of Battle with their 4 detachments, increased unit sizes. It's not going to be as good. But Genestealer Cult getting 5 detachments, I can live with that. Yeah, yeah. New Genestealer Cult Combat Patrol seems like a good addition to the old box, but it's terrible to start new. Ooh, yeah, that I agree with you on that. When we think about combat patrols, they should do two things. Be a good, affordable box, which means that new players can actually get it, and be a really good introduction to the faction. This has no battle line units. Like, yeah. No, none at all. Not that it has very few. It has none. If you build them as metamorphs, which is what it's encouraging you to do. And that is assuming that metamorphs remain not battle line. It would be nice if they were. You're one kit away from 2,000 points of Oops All Dreadnoughts. Oh my. Yeah, that as a starting point, that is not good. I need to write that down because you have made a good point. But the other one, the Battle Force, that is a better starting point because that Battle Force, interact, scroll, where are you? There you are. That Battle Force has vehicles. Okay, good. I mean, it's not the main thing that Genestealer Cult focus on, but it's good. It has the Genestealers of the Genestealer Cult. They're probably still not going to be battle line. Even if we get one of them is a combat-focused detachment, they're not going to be battle line in that. They're not going to be battle line in the Ascension Day. They're not going to be battle line in the Bike detachment. They're not going to be battle line in the Horde detachment, because that'll be focusing on Neophytes and Acolytes. So this 5th detachment that they haven't mentioned, I don't think they mentioned another one, unless that's very much focusing around a first turn strike, here's all your Genestealers, let's go, they're not going to be battle line at all. Yeah, that's a better start, because it gives you a battle line unit, and as a character, whether they're an elite style character or a HQ style character, and it seems like elite if their job is to be a gun, it's just pure mind gun, then that works. And you could use that model as a Magos, no reason why not. It's just so identical to a Magos. Why is it like a Magos? So as a starting point, a pure starting point, Battle Force is better. The problem is it costs nearly twice as much as the Combat Patrol. Yeah. Well, not twice. At least 1.5 times. I have a calculator. What am I doing? It is 1 2/3. Other way around. Yeah, 1.5 times. Wow. Okay. Okay. Don't do mental math when you just have a calculator attached to your computer. There's no reason to. You got the Combat Patrol in the past, so if you buy this, I will have 3 trucks and rock grinders. Yeah, I see that. I see that as a not great idea. I would go for 2 trucks and 1 rock grinder. That should be better. Battle Force is... I think we can get maybe 500 points out of the Battle Force. I like that it has all the Genestealers. That's good. 1.43 times in the US? Okay. It's like 1.49 in the United Kingdom. Percentages are always weird when it's one way or the other. Yeah. Advice of purchase if you already have 2 of the old Combat Patrol. So, if you have the old Genestealer Cult Combat Patrol... why did I close that tab of my stuff? Let's have a look at it. There it is. If you already have, 2 of them? If you already have 2 of them, then I don't think you need to buy anything new. You could get a Ridge Runner, but I think looking at this Genestealer Cult Combat Patrol, it's designed to say, hey, if you want to have a full army, then you take the old Combat Patrol and add this new Combat Patrol. What is in the new Combat Patrol for Sisters? We do know. I'll switch it back and get it on screen in just 1 second. We'll go back over the Sisters one again. Yeah, so you would have from the old Combat Patrol and the new Combat Patrol. Yeah, I see how they're trying to say, okay, here's your full army. It's got basically everything now. But Right. Advice if you're going to get this as well, or should you get this as well. Just buy one Ridge Runner. That would probably be enough. If you're happy with, or whatever you feel like getting, because you've already got 5-10 Acolytes, you could put them as Metamorphs. To be honest, the ones that have a Hand Flamer and a Knife, of which you would have at least 4 models, plus a Leader, well, you've got the Banner. Yeah. 3, 6, yeah, 6 models with banners and things. Okay, you've got at least 1 squad of Metamorphs. You could just run them as Metamorphs. You already have Aberrants. You already have 2 Rock Grinders or Trucks. You could use one of your Magus models from the 2 combat patrols as the new Brain person. No particular reason why not. Yeah, I could see that happening. So, buy a Ridge Runner if you like. Right, I'll pop up and show the... It's over here. It's here. The combat patrol for the Sisters of Battle. There's the new combat patrol for the Sisters of Battle. Multi-part Canoness, not monopose. Multi-part Battle Sisters, well, they're sort of multi-part. Not monopose, mono-build ones. 5 Celestian Sacrosancts. The benefit of the Sacrosancts being in there, you get 1 Inferno Pistol and a Plasma Pistol. Well, the important thing is the Inferno Pistol and the 1 Hand Flamer, which means you can use them, if you're not using it on the Celestian Sacrosancts, on the regular Battle Sister Superior, if you wanted a Hand Flamer. And I recommend a Hand Flamer, because then you could have 1 Flamer, 1 Heavy Flamer, and 1 Hand Flamer, and that is a hell of an Overwatch. Especially if you put Junith Junith, if you put Junith in that squad with her twin Heavy Flamer Pulpit, that makes a lot of Overwatch power. But thinking of my own Battle Sisters, I'm probably going to have to get 5 more Arco Flagellant from somewhere. Yeah, I'll have to think of more models to convert than models to buy. Although maybe there'll be people selling 5 like Repentia or Arco Flagellants. So from the previous Combat Patrol set, which had 3 Arco Flagellants and the 5 Repentia, if you squish them together, that's nearly 10. You just need to find 2 more models from somewhere. What you could do is take the little cherubs, which are now just a reminder token, put a massive saw on that. There you go. It's a weird Arco Flagellant Repentia thing. It could work. That could work. What do you think? Is that too weird? That might be too weird. Yeah, you can build these as Dominions as well. Yeah. Grumpy Old Badger. Is that 5 Arco Flagellants? Or which models? Which models you get 5 of in a sprue? I slightly missed that. Multi-part Arco Flagellants, which are monopose. Yeah, all of the Battle Sister things are multi-part monopose models, which is awful, because if they're going to be multiple parts, then they should be able to be built in different ways and be cool. Why not? Why not? Yeah. Video idea, how to play the different cults in 10th edition. I will be doing that because I will be doing focuses on the different units. You see, I've already done a tier list specifically for the Ascension Day detachment, which is going to be re-ranked for each of the other new detachments for the Genestealer Cult. I mean, I'm glad they've announced so much stuff now. It means that I'm not doing it all at once when the Codex drops. Yeah. But at least we have complete units in the Combat Patrol. Yeah. Oh, Protean Geek, getting the Sisters from the Imperium magazine. That's pretty good. They were good value. And you also got Paragon Warsuits, because it was the previous Combat Patrol split up, plus Paragon Warsuits for some reason. Yeah. You picked up 5 Celestian Sacrosancts off Proxy for €5. Nice. Nice. Yeah. I know that, for every edition, Games Workshop has been punishing me for playing Sisters of Battle. Oh, you can't field Sisters in squads of 5 or 7 anymore. Or, well, they were squads of 7 because you had a heavy weapon, a special weapon, and some regular Sisters and a superior. Then it was like, yeah, we're going to switch it up again. Now squads of 10. That's fine. I can cope with that. Then, we're going to change it up again and not really give you new rules. We're going to make some things illegal to be played. Just not even any kind of rules. Then, yeah. There's a vid on the sister detachment. Oh, have they mentioned it in here? I don't think I'm allowed to play YouTube videos on YouTube. YouTube is like, hang on, that's going to activate our copyright system if I start playing a YouTube video on there. So I'd rather keep monetization allowed for now, if that's okay. But by all means, other people can look at all of the different things that are happening for the Genestealer Cult, no, for the Sisters of Battle, and their detachments. Choking slightly, sorry. Oh. The reason they removed Celestians, which I do detest, is because they weren't sold as specific models. Whereas the Dominions, I can see how they were, but there was nothing special weapon-wise for a Celestian squad compared to a Battle Scissor squad. It's just that you could take them in squads of 5, and you had one special weapon and one heavy weapon per 5, rather than per 10. So they were just obviously better. Yeah. Didn't even get Legends. I was looking forward to a Legends unit for the Sisters of Battle Celestians with guns, but there wasn't one, and it sucked. And we still don't have a drop cathedral! Ah, I know, I've seen at Mr. Snakecake that they still sell it as, hey, you can build these as Celestians. It hurts. It hurts every day. Every day. More pain. It's going to be interesting to see what characters can be connected to what units and sisters. Probably just going to keep it all the same. And then, hey, here's a Canoness with a jump pack. You can put them in Celestians. No, then you can put them in Seraphim or Zephyrim. Whether they have an Eviscerator, which is nice to see. Shame you don't get that on this Canoness, because in previous editions, there were rules so that you could have a Canoness with an Eviscerator. And it was really good. Oh yeah, Asmongold does it on Twitch, not on YouTube. That's why. Like, we've just seen a Twitch channel well played here on YouTube. You can do it the other way around, but not the same one for the same channel, because they're like, hey, you're just taking from other people. Don't do that. Yes. Or like, clips are allowed with context. But I'm not just going to click the button and play it. We can talk about it more. I wonder if Penitent Host supports Mass Zephyrim. Well, I'm not as sure if it's not going to be... I mean, that should be viable. But Mass Zephyrim is going to be the... Does it mention it here? 4 detachments. One of them. I thought they said the name of the detachment here in the text. But it doesn't look like they do. This detachment, the flying detachment, the Zephyrim should be better in the flying detachment. Then we'll see more of a focus on the penitent aspect, like the Repentia, the Arcoflagellants. It's designed as a close combat unit. Maybe there'll be something for the Zephyrim. I mean, there should be, if it's not going to be a hyper-focused stratagem thing. The more recent codexes have had stratagems that are not, you need this kind of unit that's just done this specific thing. The Space Marine detachments very much are like that. So if you disembark from a Land Raider and you fire these kinds of weapons, then you can reroll wounds. Then we saw that the Chaos Space Marines have a similar thing. You just get out of, disembark from a transport this turn. Great. Have reroll hit rolls. Yeah. 3-inch deep strike faction, right? Yeah. It isn't specified to, like, the monolith is the only thing that can do this. Sisters still don't get drop pods. I know. We need the Dominica pattern drop pod. Yeah. Oh yeah, fun silly. It would be very fun silly. Hope for a Valorous Heart detachment. Well, they seem to have been removing any kind of, like, regeneration, resistances, the way you just get better with how you get models. So the accursed cultists no longer have regeneration. There is still a stratagem in the chaos detachment to regenerate. That's good. But that's the only place you're seeing regeneration. The chaos spawn can no longer regenerate wounds. So things more tough, they're not coming into a, yeah, you can still have these and use these and play these as a regenerating, really tough thing. We know what happened to Death Guard. They are just not tough at all. They have more of a lethal hits kind of thing. What if you build the Triumph for St. Catherine with 4 bodyguards instead of 6? That would definitely give you 2 more models, yeah. And there's no real reduction. What are they going to do with Hospitallers? Well, regenerating some wounds should be fine. They, in 10th edition, don't bring back models anymore. Yeah. Hoping they get a change to Resurrect Sisters? I mean, they should. If the Space Marine Apothecary can bring back a Terminator, if you're playing Deathwatch and have a Proteus kill team, then I see no reason why a Hospitaller should not be bringing back a regular Battle Sister or Retributor, especially Retributors. I mean, oh no, I lost one of my heavy weapons. No, I didn't. She's back. Although 5 Sisters does tend to get just purely wiped out rather than being part damaged, and then you're able to like bring more of them back. They're wiped out in one go, is my point. They tend to be just wiped out in one go. So a Hospitaller would not do a massive amount of help there. Wonder what they're going to do with the Krieg Medic. Not sure, not sure. They may still stick around with that. It's a weird interaction where that unit gets benefits if they're below starting strength and below half strength. But then they also have models that might make them worse. I can't remember if it's optional. I assume it's optional. I mean, it's a unit rule, so you can bring back this many models. You don't have to bring back that many models. That may stick around, or it may just be, yeah, you get a 6+ feel no pain, same as the other kind of Medipack that's in the Imperial Guard, that's for the regular command squad. Yeah. Yeah, an extra point of toughness means nothing for the Death Guard. I know. Because since 8th edition, they changed how wounding works. So in, say, 5th edition, if you were strength 4 against toughness 5, you wounded on 5s. If you were strength 4 against toughness 6, you were wounding on 6s. An extra point of toughness meant a lot. Now that from 8th edition, it's percentage-wise, like if you are double, if you are half, if it's slightly higher, yeah, it doesn't mean a lot. So to a strength 3 lasgun, toughness 4 and toughness 5 are the same thing, which is why lasguns are really good for cutting down hordes of orcs. So as the Green Tide becomes more popular at tournaments, we will be seeing a lot of Imperial Guard players just bringing tides of bodies, which not only will match the meta, a lot of battle line units, and you have massive board control with all the models you have around, and also you can counter the enemy hordes because your hordes out-horde the hordes. It'd be really good. Yeah. Will they update the Genestealer Cult army rule? Well, the Genestealer Cult Codex would have started being written about 6 months ago. At the time, there was a lot of talk about the Genestealer Cult being the top of the meta, which we were, because of how every single unit could potentially respawn, apart from vehicles, and battle line units were automatically respawning. At the time, Stu Black said, not looking to change what the army special rule is, because it's working so well, at least, you know, for what they wanted it to do. Then, oh, sorry, the illness. So they were working well for what they wanted to do, so they were going to keep the army rule the same, and what they did in September for the patch is slightly modify how it worked, so you weren't always coming back with battle line units. Oh, the Celestians, I think that's meant to say Celestians. Selectation? I think it's meant to say Celestians, were removed from the faction because they are traitors to the cause, for they refuse to martyr like proper sisters, which is not holy. Oh, thank you very much, Mike Pierce. Thank you. Those sisters Celestians are just behind the scenes. If the Stormcast Eternals from the special forging thing, who always do like the anvil stuff, the second edition Age of Sigmar Stormcast Eternals, if they were meant to be back behind the scenes, then Celestians with bolt guns are also just back at base, making sure that the new recruits are trained up. That's where they are. Yeah. Do we know how the Brood Brothers detachment will work? I believe they said in that detachment you can take twice the allowance of Brood Brothers, but other than that we don't know much. I think they said in the stream, which I was only part listening to because I was mostly listening to you guys, you can take up to 1,000 points of Brood Brothers. So that is I assume they were talking about like a 2,000 point army. It's a much more heavily focused, almost Imperial Guard looking army. So that means if Imperial Guard do really bad in the meta, that's a lot of players that will switch to Genestealer Cult. Oh look, Neophytes, just lots of Neophytes. And Ogrins, no, they're not Ogrins, they're Aberrants. And yeah, sure, my Primaris Psyker is actually a... What was the dude called? Brain Man. It's a Brain Man. What's he called? Had a silly name. Yeah, it was Benefictus. With a very big brain, which comes with armor. I mean, that's just unpleasant to... It does look very, like, 1950s monster kind of cool. But it doesn't look too hard to modify your own version. The legs are like Magos legs. I know one of them is like a clawfoot. The tail is very much from... An Aberrant's. Aberrant's leg could do that, because some of them have a mix. Nah, sorry, let me put it on screen. That one. Yeah. Yeah, Aberrant's legs, Icon Ward staff, or the Neophyte staff. That can work. Then for the big brain, I mean, the Magos can just work. I don't see how it's very different from the Magos. That's such a problem. It's, yeah, zone big brain Magos. That's basically what it is. They're not, yeah, they're not Rough Riders, they're Jackals, absolutely. Big brain man, yeah. What do you think is the biggest problem when it comes to Games Workshop writing codexes?
WB just tipped 10 no drop cathedral.
Oh, thank you, Wenbin Tan. I know. We have no drop cathedral. Perhaps next edition. Or perhaps there'll be some minor update, something along the way, so we get something better. Like another update. I don't know what they've done so far for this edition where it's like, hey, have more stuff. I know they said earlier, like really very much at the start of the edition, everyone's codex would give you a new model, but you should also be getting new things along the way. Other than like through Necromunda, yeah, I will say Necromunda, and also Kill Team, there hasn't been any kind of new models for any faction. When was the last time Space Marines got a release other than around the time of their codex? Tyranids haven't had anything except with their codex. I like the detachments in 10th edition. The codexes, I think they could change up the codexes. So if you want a codex to be like the past codexes, so it's a big fluffy law book, every unit has a one-page thing describing them, how they turn up, how they train, where they fit into the organization. Is it not changed? No, I didn't click that button. There we go. And, you know, how they fight, things like that. Really good. And then it had artwork, and then it had painting guides, and it had where to start your army. It had a why to fight as this faction. It should do all of that, and then have all of the profiles at the end. If they still had that, then a codex would be good. Separate to that, if you had a slightly cheaper, here's your online-only rules, that would be great. Then the tournament players, the people who have been around for a very long time, they could just buy that because they already know the lore surrounding it, whereas new players have a great book to start playing. I think it was when I talked to Olden Demon. So if you look up Olden Demon on my channel, because it was a chat we did where I was the host, we chatted a lot about the things in the past, because Olden Demon, his videos are based around 2nd edition. I've been playing since 2nd edition. See, I have to remind you all of that at least once per video that I've been playing since 2nd edition. That's when it was very much a, yeah, the Codex is a great place to start and has cool things. It matters if you get a good team or a bad team and how the rules will turn out with the Codex. Somewhat. It depends how much the rules writers know just the rules and how much they know the flavour of the army. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's look at the Necromunda stuff, and then I will look at the Skaven stuff. Because if someone's willing to give me money to look at Skaven stuff, I will look at Skaven stuff. Necromunda. Devastation of something or other. Here we are. Necromunda. Let's have a look at the creepy Genestealers in this, which are, well, they've been supping the wrong fluid from the wrong watering hole, is how it seems to be. They've ended up being a bit mutated. So in Necromunda, they're the second hive, Hive Secundus. That wants to be just a little bit in there. Yeah. Hive Secundus. Necromunda Hive Secundus, you crawl through the worst city on the most unpleasant planet in a vile galaxy. Now that's a good way of describing Necromunda. I like that. We have our blast markers. We have our Necromunda dice, but the Necromunda dice that you need to play Necromunda are not available outside these starting sets, which is really bad. You should be able to buy the dice you need to play the game separately. If we're getting, can you see here? Those are Genestealer cultists. They're kind of mutated looking, but they're Genestealer cultists, so let's go with them. We can have more models. Hive Secundus, once the center of enlightenment and learning, a rare bright spot amid the ceaseless struggle of the far future, the so-called Jewel of Necromunda. Then there was unsanctioned Genestealer research, which of course went wrong, and so we have a cult. You couldn't just exterminate as Necromunda. It does produce a lot of soldiers. I don't know what else it produces. I want to assume spice. It probably produces spice. And it's exactly like June. Oh yeah, I will look at the Admech Heresy. I will absolutely do that. Thank you. Hive Scum with new heads. Okay, okay. You like the new Genestealer Cult Combat Patrol? It complements the old one nicely. Excellent. Great. Sounds like Oldham. Yep. Oh dear. I'll gift 5 memberships. So more people can become members to the channel, which means that I get to update my end of video screen for all of the videos yet again. So Lisa, get a membership. Faithful Line Name, have a membership. Mr. Snakecake is going to be a member. Oni Gannon, become a member. Wen Bintan, you're now a member of Von Carmian's channel. Welcome. Yeah, this is very much a there is no escape. Oh, I wish I wasn't so ill. Oh. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Right, so yes, the spice must flow. Necromunda must provide all of its spice and people to the Imperium of Man. What else is that? So, oh yes, even the Imperial Fist got involved at one point because the Imperial Fists recruit from Necromunda. That happened in like the past lore. And it was not an expansion, I don't think. Or it might have been an expansion. It was definitely, in White Dwarf they had so much stuff, an expansion for Space Hulk, where they had rules for how to play on Necromunda, which involved having Imperial Fists fighting the Genestealer Cult. And that's where we got our first real description of the lore for how the different generations of the Genestealer Cult worked. Yeah, a few days of sun, the vampire gets the sniffles. Oh yeah, absolutely. There is definitely something going around like the whole country, and like internationally as well. So many other VTubers are ill right now. Oh yeah, just Kit Bash, absolutely. Well hey, there's another cherub model. Oh. Conspiracy theory, the new combat patrol is to stop kit bashing neophytes as characters. Joke's on them, we're gonna kit bash acolytes as Genestealer Cult characters. Yep. So we've got, okay, interesting, Vansar dudes. Sniper rifle, nice sniper rifle. I mean, with the number of eyes on that, that looks pretty good as a Genestealer Cult model. And then we have the creepy Genestealer Cult things. Okay, so we have, I mean, I like the kind of roomy eyes. Oh, these are where the little brain things are. It is a Necromunda model. We can't see it too well. There we go. See them better now. Little brainy things. They're in Necromunda, so we have our weird Genestealers that are, yeah, pure strain, but they've been licking the walls where you shouldn't lick the walls. That's probably how I would best explain that. So they have these weird tendrils coming up. That's a nice way to do it. You like them, yeah. Oh, it was first edition Space Hulk that had a detailed description of multi-generation Genestealer hybrids. Good. Good. Oh yes, the Mike Brannon, the metamorphs that come in the new combat patrol for the Genestealer Cult are the multi-part kit that can also be built as acolytes. So you still get acolytes in there, because the previous combat patrol, it was acolytes, but they could also be built as metamorphs. It is that box, it's the same models, so you got acolytes or metamorphs as you wish. Yeah, you can use the little brain things on the Magos or make it into a new character. There you go. There's the new character. It's a little brain dude. So, Kit Bash, new character. Necromunda model. Getting a few of them as well. So, 2, 4, 6 Genestealers and 4 brain thingies. Okay. Call the brain things a Genestealer, and there we go, we've got 10 of them. Game itself pits 2 players in a link campaign as the Secundus Incursion Gang, led by the Imperious Spira, bulked out by Vansar Tech Hunters. They come in, hunt for glory, plunder data cores, and meet the Genestealer cultists. Right, so are these existing models but with a head swap? Is that what we're saying? Are they Hive Scum? Because they look like the Hive Scum models. Just like pretty regular dude, like Hive civilians. Yeah, you think so? Yeah, yeah. And then they add a new headset. Okay. They're very gnarly Genestealer heads. Yeah, I recognize those running legs on the top left. I can see it better like that. Shotgun. They look very old school, just with the design of them. That's quite nice. Yeah. Yeah, I can get behind them. Very creepy heads. I like it. Oh, I like that sawn-off shotgun. That's good. Tiny hand axe, tiny knives. Cute. Yeah, that's good. So as a box, I know the price is going to be absolutely awful. But as a box, that's pretty good. Yeah, there's so many new Neophyte alternatives. There's no reason to buy Neophytes when you've got them. Yeah, so it's going to be a new headset. I can get behind that. If there's wondering if it's the new Brood Brothers add-on sprue for guard, it's different because that is for Kill Team, and we've seen it, and it has like a weird claw. They have actual Cadian-looking helmets. Yeah, the overlap is how you get you. I suppose it is. Yeah. So it's more of a, if you want to start Necromunda, by all means get this, and then you also have units that you can use in 40k. Let's not just buy this straight off. We're going to be looking more at the Combat Patrol and the Battle Force for starting that. Yeah, I will say that the Genestealer Cult have been better represented overall with models and rules in this edition than the Sisters of Battle. Sisters of Battle are not doing badly meta-wise. They're slightly above average, but not in a bad way. Not like in a, oh, we need to nerf these. It's fine, it's fine. Brood Brothers will probably only be on the box. Yeah, it's a Cadian upgrade sprue, essentially. Yeah, 53% or so win rate. Absolutely. Right, let's look at some Skaven. Because we're going to look at the Skaven, so look at the Skaven. Oh, there's one quick thing. There's the tournament that's happening like today, yesterday, that Games Workshop is all showing off. There's a Sisters of Battle list that is called Blitzkrieg. It's very much based around mechanized sisters. It has Celestine, who is leading one squad of Zephyrim. There are 2 other squads of 5 Zephyrim. There are 3 sets of 2 Penitent Engines, which isn't great for the Hallowed Martyr's detachment. However, if one of the Penitent Engines dies, then you can use Rejoice the Fallen as a stratagem to have the other Penitent Engine use its twin flamers that are auto-hitting and wounding with rerolls. 1 command point can be worth it. There's 2 Mortifiers in a squad. And then also 3 Dominion squads and 6 Immolators. So 6 of the Immolators are just going around by themselves. And all of the Immolators have multi-melters. Twin multi-melters. The Dominion squads have an Inferno pistol, a melter gun, times 4. The maximum number of melter that you can bring. And it's doing pretty well. Because the Immolator, as a dedicated it's not a dedicated transport. Is it dedicated transport? How are they getting away with that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 Immolators. Only 3 Dominion squads. Is this an incomplete list? No, it looks to have all of it. How odd. I was very sure that the Immolators were dedicated transports. Let's have a look at the Sisters Index, because I may be like missing a keyword. Immolator is a dedicated transport. So I don't know what's going on with that list. But it looked like an interesting list, apart from whatever that weird interaction is. Right, rat time. Gotta find it. I had the link, but it's disappearing under a sea of other links, and then we'll look at the Mechanicum stuff. Skaven Tide. Here we are. Nope, not that one. That one. Then I click that button. Then I click that button. Then I click that. Then you can see it. And now I can move it. Okay, so the brand new starter set for Age of Sigmar 4th edition. So the way they're doing it is every 3 years, new edition of 40k and new edition of Age of Sigmar. And then the 1 year where there isn't one of those happening, They have like Imperialis, Horus Heresy, something like that. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the list then. Maybe just someone hasn't recorded it right. Maybe I haven't added it up correctly. And there's also like a bunch of Battle Sisters. Oh, I know how they're doing it. The Dominions are now squads of 10. With an Immolator, you split them into 2 squads of 5. The other half of the Dominion squad goes in the other Immolator. That's how it's done. And then they can get out and drop onto different objectives and scout in the first turn. Yeah, that's how they're doing the 6 Immolators but only 3 units of Dominions. Makes sense. That makes sense. Yep. Yep, you've got it, Winbintan. You've got it. I'm just going to need to move that. Ugh. Right. Okay, as a starter box, it's going to be very expensive. We know it's very expensive, so I'm not looking this as a, I am going to buy this. I'm not going to buy this. Having 3 Rat Ogres is very nice. I wonder if in Age of Sigmar you will have to have them in squads of at least 3. Warhammer the Old World, I believe it is squads of 2 is like your starter, like your minimum, because those were previously sold in sets of 2. And then you can add individual ones, because Warhammer the Old World has individual points for individual units. It works like that. It's great. Oh, so when Mintan stopped talking about the Rhino from the old Combat Patrol can carry the Triumph of St. Catherine, that Combat Patrol is gone. The Triumph of St. Catherine is not in that Combat Patrol, so it's fine. Fine. Yeah, yeah. Oh, they'll also do the mid-tier box and a starter box. Well, there's going to be the Spearhead. Spearhead is Age of Sigmar's version of Combat Patrol, and that is where we're going to be seeing, as it's a bit further on in this, a slightly reduced version of this box, which has the Skaven dude on the creepy old rat thing, 20 of the clan rats, the 3 ogres, 1 of the characters, and I think it has the rattling cannon. Yeah. Yeah, Age of Sigmar doesn't do points per model. It like 40k now. It does, here is your cost for a unit of X. You can have that many instances of X unit. You just pay the cost multiple times. You'll buy the Skaven Tide box, you play Stormcast, but I've also wanted to collect Skaven for a while. But the Skaven weren't there yet. Yeah, now we have this. Good. So, there's your whole everything. It's a little zoomed out, but we can see you get tiny amounts of scenery. I wish they'd done a bit more scenery because half a building isn't great. I mean, the early Lord of the Rings, the very first Lord of the Rings box for Fellowship of the Ring, which came with elves, men, it was like 8 elves with large swords, 8 elves with bows, 8 men of Numenor with swords and shields, and also then goblins. 8 goblins with sword and shield, 8 goblins with spears, 8 goblins with bow, and it came with a little ruin, which was really cool. I suppose it's on par with this. Comparing it to like 40k boxes, it's not as good as the 4th edition box set, which was the Battle for Macragge, which has all the Crashed Lander stuff. That was a very nice scenery set. A lot of people still play with that. It's nowhere near the 2nd edition starter set, which had tons of cardboard terrain. Like an entire battlefield worth. Like if you could fill the battlefield with terrain, this box very much did it. Yeah, it's basically like how for unit selection, 40k does it now, but instead of telling you you can go up to unit size, it just says, yeah, you can double the unit size or triple the unit size. I think for this edition, yeah, it's just double. So you can have a unit of 40 clan rats, but not 60 clan rats. That is fine. I have 20 of the older, like, 1990s clan rats, plastic ones, multi-part, with sword and shield, 20 of them with spear and shield, 20 of the ones that came in the Blood Island set with spear and shield, 20 of the ones in the Blood Island set with sword and shield, so I can have 40... But you can't double it. Oh. I see. Yeah, so if it's unit of 40, I'm good. That works. So did they actually show off anything of regarding the Mystery Codex, or we're still waiting on that? We're still waiting on the Mystery Codex. The expectation is towards the end of June, they may be doing something more in line of like, hey, here's new things regarding the Mystery Codex. This is what it's going to be. Get hyped for that. Because we are currently a month-ish away from the Genestealer Cult Codex, 6 weeks at least from the Sisters of Battle Codex. So that means we're still more than 2 months away on this Mystery Codex. And they don't want to announce it too soon because people can't buy anything for it yet and the hype will die down. The hype kind of died down for like the Deathwing Terminator box. That was announced on Christmas Day and didn't become available till the end of March. That was like 3 months. That was too long of a wait. We've seen one like artwork page that is potentially the Mystery Codex. We can't really say much beyond that. That's about all we have. Right. So 40 clan rat dudes, very nice. 3 rat ogres, good. Very nice Jezeel snipers. The other guys right at the top. Has it got a breakdown of these? Yes, it does. I'll just skip to the Skaven stuff. Yeah, very nice models. Much better than the metal ones that they're replacing, although they looked fine. These also look very good. Sniper people, yeah. Rat ogres, one of them has a warp fire thrower. The previous plastic set, which came out in 2003 for the Battle of Lustria, they have... Oh, yeah. Jezeel, yeah, Warplock Jezeels. Isn't that the right side? That's the right way to say it? Or am I saying it wrong? Jezeel, something like that. Yeah, Warp Fire Cannon. The previous set from 2003 had for every two models, one of them could have a Warp Fire thrower, which, you know, wasn't that great. We have a massive cannon. If you want to make that into an AdMech thing, you absolutely can. That works. Big cannon, 6 barrels. So if you wanted, you could put this in like the old world and say it's a Hellblaster volley gun or something like that. I like the Warlock Engine Seers. He has, yeah, what looks like a sniper thing and a very nice spyglass which bends in the middle. I don't think that's necessary for a spyglass. It looks really cool as a Skaven telescope. And that's a nice Grey Seer. It pretty much looks like the Grey Seer that's hanging off the front of the bell, off the front of the Screaming Bell, but they've switched the weapons round in the hands, and the one that was holding a knife, which was the left hand on the Screaming Bell model, was holding the bell. This guy's holding a staff and a knife. Cool, that works. And then we have the very creepy Claw Lord on Norbeast. Previously, in 8th edition, there were rules where you could give your chieftain, and I think it was also warlord, because that's like the captain and lieutenant equivalent. There's some kind of weird mount. Here it is. Here's your weird mount with the appropriate amount of warpstone hammered into its body. It's a very good rat out of 10. Clawlord on Brood Horror. Yes, that was the name of it. Yes. Oh. Nice big sword. Well, halberd thing. Very good looking model. He's also got a pistol. Pretty cool. Better than like just, he's always got to have a shield. I like that he has a pistol because range weapons are very much a Skaven thing depending on which clan you go for. The Scryer stuff is the big cannon. Molder stuff, little bit of gun, but mostly big monsters. Eshin stuff, throwing a lot of like stars and slings, that very much is Eshin. So that's cool, that works, I like that. Then Pestilence, got a Plague Claw Catapult. So there's some shooting. They're definitely not like, say, Bretonnians, where it's barely any shooting. You just have one unit, well, the peasant units with bows, because they now have peasant archers in rank, peasant skirmishers. Squires? Mounted squires can have bows. Yeah. And then there's the trebuchet. They're very much not a gun faction. Skaven are a gun faction and a horde faction. And you have to shoot the elves. hate high elves, always have hated high elves because of how much the rules focus them. They're so good at movement. They have some of the fastest movement of any of the factions. They're really good at magic, so have like access to all of the magic. They're really good at shooting because they have all the different archer units, bolt throwers, and things like that. Then they're really good in combat, not because they're tough or anything, but because they have such high initiative that they always strike first. And if they can kill all of the people in your front rank, you don't get to fight, even though you charged. See also Eldari. Yeah, they're a little bit squishier. A little bit. Not a massive amount, but a little bit. Seems like a fun job just being the guy that gets to hold the shield. In Skaven terms, that's a safe job. Being the guy that pushes the big contraption that already has a wheel doesn't seem as safe. And I think in the trailer, one of them got crushed. But it was like, lol, Skaven lives, it's how it is. Right. The Liberators. There are 2 squads of 5 Liberators, I think, which is just updated Liberator models from the first edition of Age of Sigmar. There's a squad that has 2 hand weapons and a squad with shields. Each of them has 1 model with this great hammer. What they've done is, you can see this squad has 3 bare heads and 2 with helmet. The other squad has the same like body and right hand. They swapped the shield for another hammer, so there are separate arms. And I'm assuming that as these are a starter set, it's going to be monopose, and the head will be attached to the arm. So this shield arm on like the bottom left dude will be connected to that helmeted head. On the alternate unit, which has the twin hand weapons, there will be a single hammer that connects in and has a bare head. So you get another squad where 2 of them have bare heads and twin hammers, 2 of them have helmeted head and twin hammers, but the opposite to how they're shown here, and there's also a big hammer with a helmet. That's a clever way of doing it. They've also done that sort of with the Monopose Sisters, where we saw the Battle Sister squad. There are some models that are obviously the same as other models, however, they've had a head swap, so they have a helmet on. Same for the Seraphim, the Monopose Seraphim. There were basically 2 poses and then the Seraphim Superior. One of the heads of one pose would have a helmet, the other one wouldn't. That was about the only difference. Then we have our own Seraphim here for the Age of Sigmar people. Yeah, the refresh of the original Liberators. Go all helmets or go home. It's sensible to be wearing helmets, although I like painting faces. I think if a model has a good face... I mean, what was the Canoness, the jump Canoness like? That have a decent face? It was fine. Fine. No, it's not great. I don't like all of... No. They're trying to make her look like in her 50s or 60s, but also flying around and still fighting. While that is inspirational, the face doesn't quite have the same look, especially when we have characters like Junith and Morwen Val, who are very young. It's a bit of an inconsistent feel. Painting faces can be hard, so helmets are a good way to go. These are again updated versions of the prosecutors that came in the first edition Age of Sigmar set. Though they had twin hammers, these have spear and shield. I'm hoping that there's going to be weapon options. And it isn't just, oh, you have to have spear and shield, because they're no longer selling the old prosecutor models. So hopefully both. Hopefully both is an option. Both is good. These guys, look at the 2 cultists. You could definitely just take these, call one of these Reclusians a Dark Apostle, and there you go. You have your own Dark Apostle with the 2 attendant little dudes. Can't remember what they're called. Nope, not come to me. Chaos Space Marine thing, though. Yeah. Someone went so hard on helmets that they put a helmet on Celestine. Okay, yeah, that can look good. One of the Zephyrim helmets, that might look good. Very pointy. Although I don't like the Zephyrim helmets with the spike on them top, because it looks like if you slide the faceplate up, you actually can't because the ornament on the head is stopping it from moving. I have quite a few problems with the Sisters of Battle sculpts. I am not a fan. But that kind of talk around here among so many Sisters fans can get me cancelled. People are free to make the wrong decisions when building models. Yeah. Build them however you want. Convert them however you want. Do whatever you want with your models. No one's going to come into your house and knock them over. Like Games Workshop, James from Games Workshop isn't going to kick the door in and shake your models back into a monopose style. Oh, it's the same stat line, so people can build them however they want for the Liberators. Nice. I thought... I mean, surely there's an option for twin hammers. We'll see what the new rules look like. Because they're going to do an index version, call them indexes, after like 8th edition 40k, which I suppose also is 10th edition 40k. Index version of all the different rules. So that's where you will be able to see all of the rules for all of the factions and have a starting place for all of them, which is nice, if they can do it properly. 8th edition index for 40k was pretty well balanced. I mean, it wasn't a tournament, but that was very extreme. There was like 3 weird lists that had a lot of flyers because people were exploiting flyer rules. Aside from that, it was very nice. The start of 10th edition 40k with all the indexes, not so much. Not so much. Oh, they previewed the War Scroll in the article, which we assume is how they liked in the index. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. That's fine. I would like a mix of it, though. You actually need to learn how to do a wash. I mean, I'm not a painting channel. I know you're chatting to other people in chat, which is fine. I'm thinking, do it lightly. Not so much that it runs, just lightly, like more water on the paint. A little bit more water, although washes already have that much. I just take it straight from the pot. A little bit of drying, and then apply it to a face. That works. I'm not a fan of there being so many characters. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 characters. Plus these Reclusian elites. And the way they're meant to work is they've done so many reforgings. They're like absolute veterans. They've been fighting since the war against chaos. 2 of the models are the same pose. Like 2 different sets of legs. It's basically the same. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But these mortals are meant to be going along being like, hey, you're losing your memory, but here's a bunch of things you did that were really cool. And, you know, we support you and love you. And that's just a great thing to do to people with essentially space dementia from too many times being reborn. Yeah, I'm going broke this summer. I'm thinking I'll get the codexes and not buy any of the models. So conversions will be the order of the day. And we'll see what the rules are like, because the new Brain Man may not have amazing rules, so we'll have to see whether or not I get one, or I just take like a Brood Brothers heavy weapon team and say, there you go, there's your brain dude. Stats match what the model is. Yes. Also these Reclusians? Are the Memorians? Let's say Memorians. One of the names. The little human dudes that follow them around, they are meant to be descendants? Yeah, Memorians, mortal companions who observe their deeds and memories, could potentially be descendants. But there's only 2 of them and 3 guys. So one person isn't getting their deeds remembered. Or maybe one of them doesn't have any children, which would be weird. But that's what Games Workshop said. It's like, maybe they have no kids, and so orphans get no, or like childless people get no memory. That kind of sucks. Oh yeah, Age of Sigmar cherubs, they also work. That's pretty good. Right, I just need like a 30-second breather. And then we'll switch over and do the AdMech stuff. So, I'm not gone. But 30-second switch. Muted. Not muted anymore. Admech. Okay, let's have a look at these people, because we were very much talking over the Admech 30k reveal because there was so much Sisters and Genestealer Cult stuff that they were just rapid firing through with barely any discussion. Now we can slow down a bit and talk about it more. Age of Sigmar 30k. Yeah, Age of Sigmar Skaven to 40k Skaven. Well, 30k Skaven. Yeah. Ooh, it's a lot of money to get some rats, and they're a horde army, remember? Yeah, Crimson Sunbear. Most armies have been coming from discount boxes, so they haven't been too expensive. Good. Yeah, discount boxes are probably the way to go. Well, I'd say the only way to get affordable affordable Games Workshop stuff, but that just puts it at a slightly more reasonable price. It's still very high as a price compared to literally all other war games. Although if you want discounted 40k models, terrain, paints and things, there are links in my description here for United States, UK, Australia and Canada, and I'm working on getting more. Right. Where's my interact button? Why won't you move? Move! There we go. It moved. Ah, the Priesthood of Mars have got more stuff. Okay, Mechanic and Battle Group. We have... These are like semi-elite infantry. Oh, that's a nice multi-melter. Oh, I like that. Can we just have that for the Battle Sisters? Because that's good. Claws, big plasma cannon. Nice saw. Nice saw on that. Big cutty saw. And then Servitor Zombies. But not in the big tracks. This is a unit that they need in 40k. That looks cool. Oh yeah, I like them. What's their names? I mean, I'm sure they had names previously, but what are their names now? These are the Ordo Reductor Shock Troops. 20 Adsecurlis Tech Thralls. Augmented once humans are often the result of punishment for a tech priest's menial labourers. Unlike servitors, their personality and thoughts are not removed entirely, just overridden. They're refitted as expendable troops. Lovely. So yeah, they're servitors. They're basically servitors. Ghoulish puppet conscripts are indefatigable. That means they don't give up. They are not fatigued, and often overwhelm far superior troops through mindless determination and weight of numbers. It's zombies! It's 40k zombies! You want 40k zombies, you can have them with the weird las gun type thing. Las rifle? Las lock? Not quite. Tech thralls, yeah. From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, I craved the certainty of plastic. Very good. Ooh. Moved it too high again. I like them. I like them. They should definitely be in 40k as well, but Admech already has a lot of Horde things already. We've got the Skitarii Rangers, the Skitarii Vanguard. They shouldn't be Horde. They should be like slightly elite. Almost Battle Sister elite, but in a different way. So they have longer range, not as much armor. Bit debating on the 6+ save. Don't know about that, but okay, okay. Because that was something they had from their... it was something they had from their Bionics. They got a 6+ save, whereas the Sisters got a 6+ save, invulnerable save, because of their faith. Much more reliable. We got a new armored conveyor. It's not quite a squat land train, but it's big. It looks Land Raider sized. I believe it's Land Raider sized. think it was in like the box. Then maybe over. Oh yeah, that's maybe bigger than Land Raider. It's huge. It is huge. And what else do we get? Do we get? Yeah, 2 big cutty boys. Could have these as penitent engines. I don't see why not. If you like the models, or if you wanted to have like a 30k AdMech army and also want to use some stuff in 40k, penitent engines. Oh yeah, Laszlocks are the muskets. Yeah. Trying to think of the ones that they use in 30k because they're better. Good rock grinding kit bash material. It's probably a bit big for a rock grinder, but I like the idea. You're going to get that stuff for the orcs and iron hands. Yeah. I mean, there for orcs, that's a dreadnought? Orc. It's just called an orc dreadnought, isn't it? Yeah. And then the killer cans are the smaller kind. Las Fusils. I think I may be thinking of Las Fusils. Yeah. Anything for Votan? No. Astra Militarum? No. Not for 30k, not for 40k. Oh, that's a thought. Iron Warriors. So if you wanted a Land Raider, sure, use that. If you want to have some cultist mobs, why not use these? We'll have to see prices. Sometimes the 30k stuff can be cheaper. Like, relatively. So 5 jump intercessors is like £35. They might have changed. Oh, they're going to change the prices. And whereas 10 assault marines with jump packs in 30k is like £42. It's more money than you're paying for just 5, but you get a squad of 10. So it's better pounds per model. But yeah, there's a cultist mob for your AdMech. For your Iron Warriors. Yeah. And they're legionaries. Why not just have 6 legionaries? 6 heavy weapon legionaries? Because you can't have plasma cannons as a Chaos Space Marine. That's why. Can have a multi-melter. Can you have a multi-melter? Chaos Legionaries. Can you have a multi-melter? Do I have it? I don't have it on quick reference anymore. Chaos Codex. Legionaries. All the people who can join Legionaries. Actual Legionaries. We've got Havoc Autocannon, Heavy Bolter, Las Cannon. Regular Melter Gun, but no multi-melter. They never made it over to the Chaos side. Okay, they're maybe not as good as regular Legionaries. Yeah, just regular melters. Oh, it's called a Death Dread. Of course it's called a Death Dread. It can't hear very well because of all the buzzsaws and the guns going on. That's why it's a Death Dread. You just drop out and they pull me back in. Big robot guy. Oh, yeah. That's a war crime cannon on its shoulder. That's definitely that. Twin... Well, not twin bolter, but something like that. Yes, I'm sure this is a siege cannon that's only going to be used in sieges and nothing else. Siege Automata. Oh, it's just a name. It's just a name. You don't have to use it in sieges. It's fine. Use it whatever. Giant plasma mortar to lob blazing spheres of destruction over walls. Twice the height of a Castellan. Okay. This is what the Grey Knight's Dread Knight should have looked like. Really cool. And then just have like a tiny head of a man at the top. That'd be fine. Thanks for coming, Lisa. Yeah, we've looked at the Necromunda stuff not that long ago. Nurgle corrupted Genestealer Cult. They've definitely been licking the wrong walls. I've said that already. Supping the wrong Mountain Dew. Your Mountain Dew is Mountain Undewed. It is dew gone. And there's regular, like, culty dudes. Well, like civilians. Cult scum. Necromunda gang of scum. They were called something like that. And then there's a new heads for those Necromunda Genestealer Cult models, so you can make them Genestealer Cult. The cowcatcher bow looks cool. That is a pretty good Admech leader. What's his name? Archmagos Prime. Yeah. I prefer this model to the 40k one. Definitely. Where he's all hunched over and coming with the staff. I've seen it too many times, maybe. This looks really nice. Kind of cool Pope hat. The guns are pointing forward. He's pointing, sure, why not? And a big goad. Lots of electricity. Yeah, this looks nice. Volkite Serpenta. Conversion beamer. Love conversion beamers. They get more dangerous the further away they fire. And the corposant stave to whack people. Awesome. I'm not buying any of these. It does scream Dark Mechanicum, yes. And I probably won't encourage anyone else to buy them, but, you know, it's like, if you want them for Necromunda, you also have Genestealers for your Genestealer Cult army in 40k. If you want to play Admech in 30k, you can also play Admech in 40k. These are absolutely some options. I can get behind that. Yeah, this is Dark Mechanicum. Absolutely. Was that the last thing? Wow, 3-hour stream? 3-hour stream seems pretty good. Much as I would like to continue, I am running out of energy now. And I do need to just rest for a bit. The illness is not good. So, in the coming days, I'll have to figure out exactly how I'm going to phrase it, but we'll have a look at the combat patrol for the Sisters of Battle compared to my predictions and hopes. We'll look at the Genestealer Cult combat patrol again compared to my predictions, so they should be separate videos. We'll have to have some kind of advice on what you do next. And then a kit bashing video for how to make these models, but out of other models. That'll keep me going for at least a week. There we go. That can be very good. You are most welcome for the stream. I don't need that anymore. What were you thinking about the Angelic Host detachment? That is the Seraphim base one. Might buff Repentia units? Well, they also have the Penitent Host. They probably want to keep them separate. Yeah. Do you think someone should pick up the current combat patrol or wait for the new one and get that one instead? Depends if we're talking Genestealer Cult or Battle Sisters. If we're talking Genestealer Cult, grab it now. If we're talking Battle Sisters, I'm okay with waiting. Get the new one. Yeah. Right, any final questions people want to ask me for like 5 minutes? Any final gifts of money, tip money that people want to drop into my tip jar? I mean, I think I've got enough to now afford the codexes when they come out, so thank you to all the people who have given me money for that. If anyone else wishes to drop some tip money, you are most welcome to do now. It is the Ko-fi link in the description. Don't forget that if you have any desires to buy any of these new things, remember to come to my channel. The description of all of my videos has links to the affiliate links to discount places for your countries. We now have the United States, so if you're in the United States, you can get discounted models at the wargameportal.com/?vampire. That'll give you discounted models. Will I be doing more detachment videos once the codex comes out? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't have a Patreon, I use Ko-fi instead, which is a similar thing. You can give one-off tips, and it says on the site when you visit it, you can do one-off tip, or you can support monthly, and that is memberships. And then you give as much as you want. So yes, each of the detachments will be getting a rundown. I'll end this by saying Genestealer Cult be eaten good? Yes, they will be. Yeah. None for Asia though? No. It's a thing I'm working on, and with Asia, if you do it for, say, China, they won't deliver to India. So it's a bit more difficult for that. So yes, plenty more detachments, because I already have a Mechanized Sisters of Battle video. Sadly, it looks like there's no Mechanized Sisters list, like with the detachment focusing around them. But for my Mechanized Genestealer Cult, that works, as we're going to have a detachment focused on bikes and transports. I've already done a video on that, which is good. I went to buy my daughter a Barbie for Xmas and got a single doll costing 30 plus euros, very similar to Games Workshop prices. Yeah, they all be going up like that. They're always increasing in price. Oh, right. Any other questions? Because I'm going to say I don't insist that you like this stream. I don't insist that you subscribe. I am very happy that you turned up. Just thank you very much for turning up. We've had a lovely chat. We've seen some very nice Genestealer Cult models. Thank you very much, Belgian Nerd. I will be going and having a rest. 50 euros. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that all of you are getting so much out of my videos. That you're like, oh, this dude is good. I should support him and make sure he has food to eat. Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, those are our upcoming videos. I do have the Genestealer Cult Combat Patrol predictions. Yeah, it wasn't too far off for the Battle Force, so that may be a video to have a look at. Although that's probably just going to die off now. That happens. A lot of the things were like, I'm predicting this for the Codex, and it either has or hasn't happened or will happen or not happen. We'll see how we go. Food, you mean blood? I mean food for the people who give blood. Proteon Geek, gifting memberships to people. Everyone better say thank you to Proteon Geek. It says 0 subs because it's like all of the subs have now been delivered. That's why it's saying 0 subs. Excellent. Thank you so much. I wonder if we'll see a mention of the Cult of the Second Son from Necromunda in the Genestealer Cult Codex. It'd be nice to get a little bit of lore for them. Not necessarily detachment focused around them. But now we know we're getting our Horde of Pauper Princes. We're getting our combat focus, which I'm thinking Twisted Helix. It's Aberrants. They mentioned Aberrants specifically. We're getting our Rusted Claw. Oh, thank you, Raymond Crow, for the £5. That's very nice of you. Let's celebrate the first super on a live stream. Oh, did I take your live stream virginity in giving money? That is specifically what I meant. Thank you. We're also going to see the Ascension Day detachment. Don't know how many of the things are going to stay there, or may get moved into something else, some other detachment. I mean, my predictions were for like a Horde-focused detachment that would have like the Lookout Sir Stratagem, what's it called? For the Genestealer Cult. It is Faithful Unquestioning Loyalty, where you get to pass off wounds from a character onto another unit that's nearby. That could move to the Pauper Princes. It suits the Pauper Princes theme. So as we're getting 5 detachments, it looks like the Rusted Claw is going to be the one that gets left out. Kind of sucks, but never mind. And Hive Cult. Having dedicated Hive Cult rules? More Brood Brothers? I like that. So yeah, Genestealer Cult are getting all the love. Battle Sisters are also here. Which, considering what's happened to them, you know, between 3rd and 8th edition, is something that we can accept. I can accept that. Right. if we're all done with our questions, if we're all done with our thanks, any additional tip money that comes in the jar, I'll send you a message on Ko-fi thanking you. It's great of you all coming. Have a great day of 40k. I'll see you soon.